Hello and welcome to what will be episode 3 of Citizen Sleeper. How is everyone doing today? I hope we're all doing well. I'm thinking skill point wise, might as well save up for 4 and then I can upgrade a little bit. Want to make ourselves even better. So having some bonuses, even though we will get them, will be nice. Just having that plus would be awesome. If intended to do interface to get it to 2+, that is pretty meaty. Pretty meaty indeed. Obviously we can have re-rolls, but that's for our push. We don't really use our push too often due to the stress accumulation. Right, we've got some bad rolls here though. Narrow escape. Just remind ourselves over in here. I'm ship mined. I don't even need a ship mind to how simulation really works, so we need a ship bind. We've got some bits, but nothing quite like a ship mind just yet. Nice supplies, full supplies. Contact. Obviously we're full on resources. We can buy scrap components. We're really full. So we might as well take this opportunity to fly off the local sector. So if we go to the map, you can see the stranded rig. Let's go. Obviously you're coming with us, Bliss. Let's go. I really like the look of this game. Looks nice. Keep your hands where I can see them. The voice crackles over the open channel of your suit comms as you near the stranded rig. You slow your approach a little as you move towards the ship. It's shaped lumpy and skeletal in the distant light of the sun. A warm welcome bodes well for the rest of the job. This shoots you a concerned look. Clearly look at the stranded ship ahead. Clearly they're feeling a bit exposed. We're here to help. Well, I figured that, voice retorts. Otherwise I would have put a hole in that shiny rig of yours already. You arrive at the side of the rig, expecting the damage as you do. Half the whole plating and big chunks of internal structure seem to be missing. You have a feeling that this is not what you're here to fix. The airlock opens and you move inside. The interior all exposed. The interior all exposed wires and metal framework. The systems wheeze and shudder as it cycles. Alma, a good scavenger. Nothing of value here, so if you're looking to steal something, you're welcome to it. Alma greets you plainly inside the rig. You do your work that's needed, and I'll let you take your half of the haul. Understood? Well, alright then. Her face is as placid and unchanging as a rock. Here's the short of it. Engine's conked out on me, and I'm no engineer. Can usually get a going, but this time no dice. She looks between you and the rest of the crew. Surprised so many of you, to be honest. Bliss smiles sympathetically. Sorry about that. But don't worry. I've worked on these engines before. I give Alma a wink. I can handle this. Don't be so sure. I will lead you towards the engine room. The layout of a rig much the same as yours. The girl is the sensitive type. You need to know how to handle her. The central corridor of the ship snakes in a way that isn't familiar to you. And you realise this rig is far more heavily modified than your own, something that becomes all the more obvious when you arrive in the engine room. Rather than the rig's stock engine, singular block and double turbine with line feeds between, Alma's engine is a mess of piping and feed lines, linking up multiple raw components, welded to the interior frame of the room. Her eyes widen at the sight. Been adding to her since I was young. Alma smiles at the chaos. I look like a mess, but she purrs when she's running. Alyssa's shaking her head slowly. Oh, sleeper, they let out a puff of air. This is going to be special. You struggle to tell if they're intimidated or impressed. A little bit of both. That's about all of it. Alma gestures to the exploded engine. Get her running and you'll get your half of the haul. We'll do what we can. Hope you all aren't time wasters. Alma squints at you. Certainly are a strange crew. Alma glides over to a window set in the side of the engine room and points to the corroded remains of the facility deep in the asteroid's loose, dusty surface. That there's the all. She taps on the glass. Good as fine a place as I've seen. What was the building? Building and all what's in it. Alma screws up her face. What? You too good for scrapping? By rights, that building's mine. Scrapper's claim. Alma snatches a mess of hair. But you helped me get her running, and you're up to what? And you are welcome to take what you want from it, up to a maximum of 50% of raw mass, that is. We have to distract ourselves. She looks you up and down, and you feel the first acknowledgement of you being a sleeper. I doubt it'll trouble one of you. Anyway, you're leaving with nothing unless my girl is back in shape by the time you're all are done. If Folds her arms across her chest. So I get to it. You turn back to the engine, your eyes tracing the madness of the interlocking systems. You're starting to have the horrible feeling that this contract is some kind of elaborate joke. Sorry about my terrible impression there, by the way. I feel like it could have been a little bit better. Let's get to it. So we've got Armor's Rig, the Refuge, and the Ruined Facility. Armor's Rig, steady engine, engine labour. Might as well do this one. There's a 100% chance we're going to do it. Don't like the... Pretty bad rolls this time, actually. Fire it out, fire it out, fire it out. What? Yay. Whew. Worries me when we do the two. What's this thing? Component search and corroded, ragged remains of this facility. There still might be valuables tucked away. Try to find them. That'll be hidden treasures. And this is raw material. The entire facility scrap. It just needs cutting and stacking, which means hard cycles of work. Okay. We might as well do one. I don't like using 3. I prefer a 4. Because stress gains. Yep. No, we're gonna chill through this because there's no specific time limit other than our cycles. What we're gonna do? We're gonna win the cycle. Hopefully some better rolls. If not, I'm gonna cry. 2 6s, I'll take that, and a 6 and a 3 from Bliss. We can work with that, most definitely. I can fix anything. Yes, you can, Bliss. Yes, you can. Okay, no, you can't. Oops. Might as well get this in shipshape order first. That's it again. A 3 is still risky, but that can happen. Right, come on, 3. 25%. 25% to have this done. 25%. Ah, not quite. Not quite. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. We'll snooze again. End that cycle. So I like what she said earlier, and had no dice with the engine. Well, this makes me laugh when there's reference to dice in a game like this. We'll use our 4 just to get it done. No, the 4 and the 3 is pretty much the same. You all gather in Armor's Rig to see the engine tested. The engine room purrs and chitters. It seems to warm with the sound of the engine, with the polyrhythmic vibrations that rattle through the open framework of the interior. Look over to Armor and you see her eyes are closed, a small tremble at the corner of her mouth. You look at the engine, Armor's engine, an object that you've come to respect over the past cycles, even if you haven't necessarily grown to love it. It is, as you see it now, a difficult thing to love. Whole parts of it make little sense, and its oldest systems, those now bypassed and made obsolete by newer additions, still somehow play an integral role you didn't understand. It is unwieldy and unnecessarily so, and the accumulation of parts and patches from its long service makes it surprisingly fragile. Meanwhile, other sections have been welded and re-welded so many times that are impregnable and will never be able to be replaced. It is uncooperative and prone to sudden outbursts of cooling fluid or even fuel. It is restless and will begin to leak when left idle for too long. It is always too cold or too hot, thanks to the coolant and the fuel. It is hard to predict which it will be at any given moment. And yet, despite all this, is an object you feel close to, that you feel a kinship with, because in the end, you two are an accumulation of broken parts, long outliving their operational limits. You two are a machine that has become a story, and a story that has grown beyond the ability of others to understand it. You look over to Armor again, and Bliss is there beside her. You can see that you're talking, but with the engine running, you cannot hear them. You watch for a moment, Bliss now patiently listening as, in faltering words, Armor explains something to them. Bliss nods, and then suddenly they embrace, gentle and with care. Just to say a welcome in to anyone who's joined us today on stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Bliss pushes back, and as soon as the moment has passed, it seems like it might not have happened at all. Nothing in the two figures' attitudes betrays the act, and the room seems unchanged. You try to remember if you've seen them speaking before now, but you recall there are many moments where you were not with Bliss. As you watch Alma approach, you realise the engine is not just special to you, and that between her and Bliss, it might have been the bridge to a unique kind of respect. That's the job, Sleeper. Alma approaches you from the other side of the room. And you know what? And you know where the payment is to be found. I believe that brings our business to an end. Alma scratches her hair. Unless you have something to add. What do we do now? I believe that's my business, she crisps at the question. I need to find somewhere quiet to resupply and so on. But I don't think you'd like my usual haunts. She gives you a sly look. Appreciate the assistance. You're welcome to take what you want from the anger, if you haven't. You see a knowing shimmer in her eyes. Now, I must kindly ask you to leave my ship. See how like cycles you see across Bliss and swear you see a tear in their eye. You okay? Bliss turns to you as if they forgot you were there. I'm good, sleeper. Really good. Sniff. This place reminded me of what I do, why I fix things they look at. There's beauty in it. You find yourself drifting away from Alma's rig in a haze of thoughts. It's clear to you at this point that Alma's history is written all over this place. More than that, well, you can't be sure. This story, it seems, isn't for you. You realise as you gaze at the broken remains of the facility that Alma never took any of her half of the haul. You turn back and squint at the cockpit of her rig. You see her there, looking out across the wasteland, still as a statue. It's an image that, as you load into the rig and begin the preparations to depart, will stick with you. One that, every time you enter the engine room of your ship, a room almost identical to the engine room of Alma's rig, will leap into your mind. A woman floating above the wreck of what was once her home, looking for a reason to keep going. That's interesting. Obviously, the contract's complete, but let's get this loot. I wonder if we'll get loot as we go, or if it'll just hidden treasures. Yeah, so I want the hidden treasures because that sounds like it'll be pretty good. Obviously, me and Bliss are actually perfect for this side, and gathering scrap not so much. How did you gain stress? That was a 5. Wow. Let us rest up. Hopefully, get some good rolls the next day, and cycle. Oh, one of your dice is broken due to losing all its dice health. Broken dice can be repaired at the rig at the cost once the workshop is available. So we've never actually had a dice break yet. Rig workshop. Improvised dice repair. And cannot. Not while on contract. Okay, but we've got some good bits to repair a dice. Okay, we can do that. Fine, but interesting. It's our first die to break. Content cert. Component cert. Sorry. Get this maxed out. Gonna do some fours. Getting quite a bit of stress on this one, wow. We'll have to do something about the stress when we're back. Let's end that cycle. Hopefully we get some better rolls and we're able to finish it. Wow, that really isn't great. So we only lose 5 stress on a return journey, so we have to make sure we don't gain any more. Ideally, anyway. I think 5 will do the job here. There we go. Continue. There's a hiss and a rush of stale air as the sealed bay, deep into the facility's tunnels, opens for the first time in years. The beams of your suit lamps reach into the dark, picking out waves of dust and debris. They reveal a small bay, big enough for a shuttle, but not a rig like yours. As you glide inside, those same beams catch on the frame of something that sits at the centre of the bay. It is wide and flat, with a cylindrical section that runs its length. As you move around it, looking at the sections of plate and open frame, you realise it's a ship, or at least it was. This frame, filled with rusted components and partially covered with old hull plates, suggests a fast ship, an arrowhead designed to cut through debris and even atmosphere. You float up a little to see it into its central cylinder, and your lamp reveals a cockpit outfitted for 2 people, one sat behind the other. The seats are carefully upholstered, and you realise this was a labour of love. The whole ship, in fact, seems built by hand. A custom model with little function out here beyond looping around asteroids thrills it. Looking closer, brushing away the surface corrosion, you see flames painted on the hull plates in curling patterns, the brush strokes visible even after what must have been many years. As you inspect the half-finished ship, a sense of quiet wonder keeps you silent. You notice a glint towards its rear. You approach it and see an engine, all interlocking tubes and flared vents. It's unlike anything you've ever seen, but the holes in it suggest it may never have been finished. Those holes are the source of the glint. You reach in and pull out some strange-looking engine components, each pristine and complex. You hesitate for a moment, suddenly feel like you shouldn't be disturbing such an intimate object. But it occurs to you that nothing would please the person who built the ship more than seeing their handmade components put to use. You call them to your suit and push away from the ship. As you leave the bay, you turn and take one last look at the treasure inside. It's possible that it never flew, or perhaps it was in the middle of extensive refit when this place was abandoned. Either way, its flying years have long since passed. And now, with the bay open, it will corrode much faster, nothing with the anonymized scrap of this place amidst cycles. You suppress a shiver, and then start the journey back to the surface, where the components dangling at your side. So we've got engine components, rare components, we've got scrap, we've got some Solheim data, we've got some bits. But now, because neither of us are good at endure, we should leave it be. Let's get back. Actually, no, it's map. Leave. -5 stress on journey back, so we shouldn't be stressed on our return. Hopefully. Really make money, but that wasn't necessarily the point of this one. Let's make sure we will gather up supplies on our first tanker. Fuel. I'm reminding myself of everything we can do. High supplies, full supplies, but hydroponics. I'm sure we can. Oh, we're not good at that. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else we can do here. High engine components. We've got quite a few engine components. Lots of integration. Integration means meshing systems. Scrap the integrators. Pay anyone's got enough meshing networks. We'll do that one. It's a 6. Take credit, crow, and raw scrap. Okay. Plates, pipes, heavy strut work, freshly cut and processed. Okay, interesting. Let's see what the other part was as well. So you've got Jean-Mi booth. Yep. So that's where we need to give the ship mind. And then a narrow wine. This is where we can get some food to replenish energy. Okay. So I always double check, make sure we're not missing anything. Might as well just do the integration again, honestly. Get a little bit of moolah, a bit of scrap. Your interior is requesting give you some space. Might as well end this cycle while we scavenge some supplies. Then we might as well head back to another system, or head to another system. Since it looks like there's no other missions here at the moment. By the looks of it anyway. Right, Ferris, let us refuel ourselves with you. Thank you. Ah, we need to repair my die as well. The rig, repair workshop, we shall do. So there's dice repair. Minor glitches. So improvised dice repair and dice repair. Minor glitches or many glitches. So it's basically, do we use a rare component or do we use a scrap component? We use a rare component. Obviously we have enough for 9 die at the moment. So we've got 1 glitch. So next turn we should have a glitch, but after that we should be good. I think it's a matter of you need to use the actual glitch die and then it's fine, if I remember correctly. We're going to be fine on meals for now, even once we arrive there. Is there anything we need to really do? Not really, but we might as well take a 3, make it a 4, see if we can make some moolah before we go. Oh, we lost some energy, but that's fine. Come on, make some moolah. You can do it. I'll take that. And then who's selling... Actually, who's selling supplies? There it is. Sell the supplies. There we go. Now I guess it's time for us to get out of here. There's no other contracts here. So that was the fast spindle. Now we want to head to Holmes Dock because obviously we couldn't head there through this asteroid field earlier. And we lose -3 hunt while we go. Let's do it. And we're off. Sleeper. Bliss speaks quietly in the door at the back of the cockpit. Can we talk? Glance over at Seraphim, his head back and eyes closed while the rig cuts through empty space. You don't seemed to be needed here. You unclip from your harness and follow Bliss. How are you doing? Bliss glances over their shoulder as they drift towards the back of the ship. The question takes you aback. You can't remember the last time anyone had actually asked, with real intention, how you were. Better than I was. Bliss shoots you a look. That's a good way of thinking about it, I guess. But to be honest, Sleeper, not sure how you're still standing. Breaking out of Dark Side, and again in Hexport, those things take a toll. Bliss turns a corner. It's okay to give yourself space to feel that. Bliss leads you off the main corridor, into the workshop they set up when they repaired the ship. It is small, but its neatly arranged tools and sloped walls help it feel cozy and tucked away. You see improvements everywhere, new tools and equipment. Bliss notices you looking at their upgraded setup. I told you it would be worth taking along. I think it was much choice. Never doubted it. Bliss raises an eyebrow. Well, that's a lie, they smiled. It was good to hear, though. Anyway, I didn't bring you here just to brag, they paused, or at least not just to brag. They suddenly glanced away. The atmosphere in the room shifted. I can see your body is showing the strain, Sleeper. I brought you here so we could do something about that. They beckon you towards the workbench, where you both settle onto stools. They flicker on a small light and aim at your arm. Let them look. Bliss gently cradles your arm, turning it to inspect the underside. You see tears and holes in the vinyl skin, and dark moving things underneath. Watch Bliss work. You look as Bliss brings the light closer to the biggest tear, and it glints off the metallic tendons in your forearm. Below them, you can see something more fluid and wet catching the light. No, you aren't the first Sleeper I've met, Bliss talks while they inspect the rest of your arm. I actually partnered with one of my old repair bay on the Eye. Okay, this was Bliss, the technician from the Eye, who, yes. Okay, I was thinking this throughout the early part of the game. I was like, I swear this is Bliss from the game. Genuinely. It was like 100,000 cycles ago now, but I remember them. Their precise work, their quiet enthusiasm. There was something calming about their presence. I wonder what happened to their system. Bliss swaps your other arm. They were different to you, just like one person is different to another, I suppose. I can't remember that time. I was a different person then, that's for sure. They meet your eyes. I'm going through something of transformation myself. How's that going? Bliss lays both your arms down and leans forward to inspect your upper chest, adjusting the light. I was pretending before, I think, to be the person I was expected to be. They press along the hard protrusion of your clavicle. There were so many calculations I was making, so many corrections. How I held myself, how I spoke, how I reacted. They pushed gently against each of your metallic ribs, one at a time. I didn't realise how tired I was until They stop and sit back up. Until I gave up. I came here to the belt with someone else, and when I did, I realised this was my chance to become something new. So I let go of everything. They looked away. It was a mess. Messy, ugly, and the person I came here with, I let them go too. I was punching out at everyone, everything, because it felt like everything was holding me back, stopping me for the change I was owed. Don't worry, I smiled weakly. I'm calmer now. I'm not about to explode on you or anything. It's still a difficult process, but it feels like shedding 100 suffocating skins that you spent half your life putting on, one by one. They met your eye. It feels like an escape. They lean forward again, check the skin of your shoulders, where it's worn and faded. You let them. The atmosphere quiet but calm in the workshop. A feeling of solidarity glowing somewhere in your frame. Not bad, Sleeper. You're still holding up well, given everything. Bliss folds their arms in front of them protectively. I'm still concerned. There's some decline to your system functions. Let's keep an eye out for components. Thank you, Bliss. It's no problem. They release from the stool, drift over to a rack of tools. I owe you for jolting me out of whatever my life would become on the fast spindle. You leave Bliss to their workshop, feeling reassured that you have them here on the ship. As you do, you think your relationship to your own body. This frame that you were forced into has never quite felt like your own. You realise that this feeling is not unique to you. No one gets to choose their body. Everyone has to be contented with the entropy of their flesh. And in that realization, you suddenly feel less alone. Interesting. But I was thinking this was Bliss from the other one, and it turns out it was right. Lumping and cratered, Holmes Rock floats on the sunward side of the belt. Its only notable feature, the bright shapes of its solar rays angled towards the system's distant star. Can't even dock the rig here. Seraphin nods at the bright shape of Holmes Rock, lone docking bay. Won't fit. We'll have to park here and go out the airlock. He seems repulsed by the idea. What is this place? Was the Solheim relay station once? Now it's a way station of some sort. Seraphin squints at the rock. Never heard of much happening here, really. Barely seems worth the trip down. Bliss speaks up from the back of the cockpit. You never know. You never know. I guess. Bliss yawned, but don't expect to turn up any jobs all the way down here. I'll come down later. Don't feel like squeezing into the suit right now. Bliss gives a lazy wave as they glide out the airlock. The cockpit. The airlock. Whee! He gaze over Holmes Rock. It certainly doesn't look very exciting. But there's refueling to be done, and maybe more besides. You might even be able to scare up a hot meal. You know, Sleeper, the low-tick freighter means we aren't far from Wellspring. Seraphin gives you a sideways glance. Your sister, I haven't forgotten. Alright then, Seraphin smiles. Appreciate it. I heard the pressure of the war on the inner system is having an effect on how the Lotic Syndicate is being run. Just want to get there before something big goes down. Turns back to his console. You look at the Lotic crater, painted the same distinctive yellow as the spring tide back on the far spindle. You've heard they supply most of the water in the belt. Not exactly an organisation you want to collapse. The light catches your eye beyond the rock, a warm flash that is gone as soon as it appears. You're at the sunward edge here, and beyond is the inner system. Holmes Rock might look sleepy, but it lies on the shores of a corporate war, something residents will be painfully aware of. Okay, I like the look at this place though, it's interesting. Solar panels here. The actual place here. No real docking capabilities for us, but fine with that. Holmes Terminus. Water tunnels, but with the locals, we are doing one because that's the option we have. No place like home. I like that. I like that. I like that a lot. We are going to be cheeky and go to our rig bunk where we can rest and recover and use our messed up bike. Build recovery, fine. With that, if it succeeds, that we get an achievement for that, by the way. Scavenge some fuel. Let's end that cycle because those rolls are they are some atrocious rolls. My goodness. Not as bad, not as good. 50-50, really. Let's go and barter with the locals. Hello, locals. I seem to fit in very well here. Wow, we didn't. Well, we're discovering locations, that's fine. As long as we're getting something. Nope. Go over here, what's this? Oh, fuel freighter. Help offload freight. Endure, not our skill of choice. And then buy fuel, fill fuel. Okay, so that's a way for us to get fuel and do a little bit of work if we had some different skills, which means as we don't have endure. Fine with some locals. We lost some money for it though. We got some fuel as well. We've landed a new location. Yes, we've got Senna's Rest. Biomill selling engine components. It's not the best use of these valuable items. 35 cryo is a pittance, but Senna will broker a sale to a passing crew in need of repairs. Okay, well we ain't going to be doing that anytime soon. Biomeal, fill supplies, buy supplies. Okay, we'll get a hot meal. We're quite low on our energy at the moment. First that gives us 4, so we go down to 1. And we'll have a rest as we are low on everything. And cycle. Obviously, we are being chased, but anywhere we go reduces it by what? Was it 3 or 6? So if I go to belt, I say Wellspring. Yeah, -3 hunt. So long as we do that and then go on missions and stuff, we'll be reducing it. But we are in a constant state of being hunted down, which is not that pleasant, I guess. I guess. It's not pleasant. So we've got to figure out some things, make sure we're safe in the end. New location discovered. Ooh, what's this? Fix broken array, sell raw scrap, debug array systems. Interesting. Raw scrap. Syndicate needs a constant supply of scrap for repairs and construction. Holmes Rock saving for most income for this. Well, we've got a little bit of spare scrap. That says 13 cryo. Wow, that's actually not too bad for this raw scrap. Interesting. I'll stay here for one more cycle, hopefully max that out. If not, and see if there's any other missions here or like contracts. If not, we'll head straight to the next area. And the cycle 3 ones is pretty rough though, not gonna lie. Okay, that's not great either. Bit better, but not great. At least we've got a 6 in there. I think it only gives us 1 if it... Ah! No! No! No, I went to the wrong side! No! Oh my goodness. Alright, watch this fail now. Hey, no, we got it. Nice. Holmes Rock. In Holmes Rock, it's impossible to get away from the feeling of living, working, and eating in a room. Most of the belt is built up on the top of the range of Solheim infrastructure, but there are plenty of spaces where the modifications or extensions to those structures eclipse the original foundation. And Holmes Rock is reverse. The station is a small warm patch at the centre of a network of tunnels and bays that stretch within the rock, most of them dark, damp, and wrecked, sprawling foundation that will never be built upon. Every so often, gliding on your way between Sunner's Rest and the sun catchers, or from the docks to the depot, you find yourself in one of these dark tunnels. That's where you are now. You float, stop at a 4-way intersection, no light visible down any tunnel. Let's go left. You kick off gently from the wall and head into a cylindrical passage clad with panels that hold back the rock. It's wider than the others, and here and there little droplets of water float undisturbed. At the far end, you see a faint point of light, a warm glow lit of a lit passage. Suddenly, you hear a rustling in the dark and a shrill sound that you can't place. There's something out there. Rush through. There's a 75%. Oh, neutral. Okay. You kick off hard and glide through the tunnel, feeling a few droplets of water gently splatter on your skin. You shake off the fear as you move. The dark doesn't scare you. Then it hits you, something solid and meaty slamming into your stomach and spinning away. Uh-oh. You press off the wall and push on the shrill wail echoes beside you in the dark. What the hell was that? When you reach the lit passage beyond, you turn back, with the tunnel silent and still. You continue on, but you can't shake the feeling of being followed as you ascend back through the station. Perhaps next time you'll take a different route. But dear God! We nearly got killed by something. Goodness, goodness, goodness. We do it again. Unseal the bay. Solheim Bay is sealed, but with enough data you might be able to crack the encryption and get inside. We've got enough data. Ooh! Interesting. Interesting. Address. Components. I mean, we might as well crack it. That's what I'm thinking. We've got the stuff for it. Surely we'll get something. Boop. Blow the entire station up by accident. Oh, you're in. Print component. Oh, we need more Solheim data. Ah, that's sad. There's a faded old near-vend printer in the bay. Feeding your data should authorize a component vending process. When machine is corroded and collapsing, there's only a few prints for supply of scrap. We need some more Solheim data, but once we get that, maybe we'll print something cool. But it seems like we've done everything we can here, so we might as well head to the map. Head to the belt. Let's head to Wellspring. We lose -300. We might be in Wellspring for a while since his sister's supposedly meant to be here. We'll see if we can find her. Seraphine! The shout echoes through the ship, reaching you in the cockpit. You see the angle of Seraphine's head change, but he doesn't respond otherwise. Stay out of it. You stay silent, this doesn't concern you. Seraphine! Recognize the voice now, it's Bliss. Moments later, they come into the cockpit. No one listening, they look between the two of you. I guess that means one of you is guilty. Bliss shakes her head. Come on, you need to see this. You follow the irritated Bliss through the ship, down to the cramped storage unit tucked between the main ship and the hull. As you enter, you're greeted by total chaos. Amber globs of liquid Russian float in the air and cling to the walls, while chunks of dried food slowly spin, breaking into crumbs. See? Bliss fumes? Someone's opened up one of the supply crates and left it like this. They point to a crate in the storage and end with the lid pushed open. You look at the mess spilling out from the crate. Who could have done this? Spare the remains. Neutral outcome. Take a moment to pick through the food, to find a torn open pouch of liquid rations. You turn in the light and see a set of evenly spaced gashes in the edge. Looking at the chaos, it's hard to imagine a person doing this, especially when you're crew. Bliss puffs out her cheeks. Their cheeks. I need a break from this shit. They look at you. Let me tie this up. You spend the rest of the journey packing the crate away and disposing of the spoiled supplies. But as you do, you can't help but wonder what actually happened here. When you are finished, you take a last look around the storage bay. As you gaze around the now cleared space, you have the same feeling of being observed by unseen eyes as you find the tunnels of home with rocks. Ooh, we have a stowaway! Something's on the ship, but what is it? As he brings the ship into Wellspring, docking room, you notice a rare tension in Seraphin's piloting. He drives the stick a little too hard while docking bridge extends, and the proximity alarm goes off. He curses under his breath. Relax, you'll be okay. I've docked the ship 100 times, Sleeper. Keeps us on the honors. I am relaxed. That's not what I mean. Seraphin doesn't respond, but you see him grip the race controls a little tighter. As the ship stops, the bridging dock connected, you lean forward and look out the cockpit windows, trying to get a good view of the icy surface of Wellspring below. The harsh gleaming ice gives way to the steep sides of the cut. The asteroid's one city. It glows and steams with warmth, and peering down into it, you cannot see the bottom. Beyond, along the horizon, you see the traces of the pit head, where the current extraction efforts must be taking place. Seraphin runs the shutdown sequence and unclips from his seat. He turns back to you, a flinty look in his eye. I'm going to head down into the cut. I've got a few leads to follow up. You get the sense he isn't asking for permission. Let me help. You can check out the city if you want, but I'm not following along, Sleeper. This is my trail to follow. Before you can respond, he pushes past and glides out the cockpit. You turn and watch as he pushes past Bliss in the doorway. I missed something. Bliss shoots a look at you. He seems even more irritable than usual. Oh, do we mention it to Bliss? It's his business. Fair enough, Bliss sighs. Looks like a step over at Wellspring for a bit then. They zip their jackets. I'll be in the markets. At least Lane's unlikely to come out here to pick a fight with the Lotic Syndicate. Bliss shrugs. They turn and head towards the airlock, whistling softly as they do. Wellspring in the base of Lotic Syndicate, as you look out across the icy surface, you remember Malik, the captain whose ship you stayed and for whom you surveyed the ice asteroid. You also remember how he promised to repay you for your actions should you ever cross paths again. Perhaps Wellspring is a good place for you to make that happen. After all, if Seraphin's sister's here, surely the Lotic Syndicate would be best place to find her. I have a little guest joining me. Hello. Little dingbat just to my right. Gretchen. In and out. Did that cuddles, please? Oh, sat down, giving you cuddles. Oh, I want to stowaway the cat. This is our little stowaway dingbat. Dingbat cat. Held like a baby. She's pretty chill. She doesn't necessarily like being held. I get away with it briefly, as long as it's not more than maybe a minute. Anyone else? Good luck. Good luck with that. Dingbat would not appreciate being cuddled by anyone pretty much than me at this point anyway. And just to say, welcome to anyone who's joining us today. Right, let's explore this station. Act like a local Hacklotic comms. I mean, we're better at that than anything else. There's danger to it, but if it's 100% as we might as well. I mean, look at that. We might as well just do a lot while we're here. There we go. Amazing to think this place supplies most of the belt's water. This looks across the cut water at the workers in the distinctive yellow gear. No wonder the Syndicate runs it like a corporation. You look at those gathered in the low ceiling bar, gathered around the cushions and couches and low magnetic tables, their voices bouncing off the metallic walls. All of them wear Lotic clothing, marking their status as contractors for the belt's most powerful syndicate. You look back to Bliss, who's watching another group, quietly discussing something serious in the opposite corner. Light gets the job done. Bliss turns back to the bar and sips their drink through a metal straw. Well, that's the thing. I've been looking around Chasm Row, searching out components in the markets. Down there, people don't seem so happy. This meets your eye. There's a lot of talk of contracts. It seems Lotic's been locking down its workers, giving the war in the inner systems as an excuse. They play with their metal straw, swelling the oils of liquid in their sealed glass. Pressure is building, Sleeper. We shouldn't hang around here much longer, inside. We need to give Seraphin time. Well, let's raise an eyebrow. Sounds like I'm not the only outsider who's been hanging out in the Chasm Row. I heard someone complain about a rude young man asking too many questions. Bliss smiles. Who else could that be? Bliss laughs. That's the place to start if you want to find our boy. They said he was asking about the Rhyme Market. I have no idea what that is. This looks out across the bar. Definitely a touchy subject for locals, though. I'll head there now. Bliss nods. Finish my drink, Miss Mel. Let me know how it goes. You leave the cutwater, shouldering your way through a crowd of boisterous contractors. There's a conspiratorial mood to the conversations, now that Bliss has mentioned it, and you wonder what all the talk is about. You feel the sudden cold as you leave the steaming bar and enter one of the icy passages cut into the asteroid itself. All this water is in the hands of a single syndicate. If something goes wrong here, the belt will die out first, long before the war reaches it. You turn up the collar of your jacket against the cold and head for Chasm Row. Interesting. Let's see what we've got here. We've got Cutwater, Lotic Depot, and Chasm Row. Cutwater shift, buy meal. Okay. Lotic Depot, Depot shift, fill fuel, buy supply, or buy fuel, yep. And then Chasm Row. Full supplies, buy supplies, hidden run. This is... Probably no failure. Good. Nearly there. One sleep, and we should have it. We're good on hunger for now. Let's have a good snooze. And no more glitch, which is nice. Not the best rolls, but rolls nonetheless. Useful. Should get us there. Good. We'll get us close. Get us close, another 4. Double 75%. Yes, brilliant. The markers at Chasm Row have become familiar in the past cycles. Their steaming orange-lit decks, consistent condensation of each unit's windows, gleam of the amber workers' suits, each contributing to the particular atmosphere of this buried city. But among this, you've noticed other details too. The freelance crew is on the hunt for illicit tech, conversing workers who drop to a whisper when you pass, light flickering up through the floor grates, suggesting even deeper layers. These are details you'll follow to the Rhyme Market, a place discussed in hushed tones and dimly lit rooms, and as you drift towards what you think to be one of its entrances, the door bursts open in front of you. A large dark bundle glides out the door and impacts the metal wall of the passage with an echoing bang, where your eyes are drawn by the imposing figure that hovers in the doorway, bracing himself in the frame. Stay out of the Rhyme Market, rat! The man sends an order of spit spinning after the bundle. Opposing Lotic Syndicate worker. The bundle unfolds and you suddenly recognise Seraphim, winded but straighten him up to go back for more. What's going on, Seraphim? Negative outcome, no! You hesitate, seeing the hard anger brewing in Seraphim's eyes, and you reach him a moment too late. He catches you as he kicks off from the wall with a swinging fist, sending you reeling back while he smashes into the man. The two fumble in a flurry of blows, slamming into the doorframe, until the man gets his legs between him and Seraphim and kicks him into the wall. Seraphim hits hard and floating away, a few crimson bubbles of blood drifting from his tusk lip. Go to Seraphim. Glide over to Seraphim as he shakes himself away. Put yourself between him and the figure. Know when you're beaten, rat. The man calls out, it's time you go home and lick your wounds. Seraphim exhales in frustration, his anger fading, placed by the stinging pain of his injuries. You watch a perfectly round blob of blood from the bottom of his nose. Want to explain what's happening? For the record, the man folds his arms. This one started it. He looks between the two of you, snooping around our meeting like a rat. You see his sharp eyes recalculating the situation since your arrival. I wasn't snooping, I'm looking for someone. Seraphim glares. You taking a minute to talk to me before throwing a punch, maybe you'd have got that. The man scratches at his beard, squinting at Seraphim. Don't believe you. What were you doing at that meeting then? This in person's ain't our business. All I've heard is this is where the Lotic contractors meet, Seraphim sighs. Don't like you hearing that, not at all. I'm going to need to ask who told you this later. Turns up, yeah, this is where the contractors meet, as if that's anything to you. The person I'm looking for is a contractor. Seraphim's frustration rises. He uses the cover name Luz. He pauses a desperation entering voice. Please, I think she might be my sister. Something changes in the man's stance. He holds up a massive hand to silence Seraphim and looks down the passage in both directions. Not here, he retreats to the door. Get in. As you both enter, he reaches past you and slams the metal door behind, spinning the locking wheel with one hand. I'm Kurt, he grunts, pointing at himself with a thick thumb. Contractors are my concern. If Light catches us discussing contracts out there, he shakes his head. He turns and leads you down the passage. You pass an open door and he glances inside to see a group gathered in the circle. All of them in workers' clothes. They're speaking in hushed voices. One of them exchanges a nod with Kurt. Let's not interrupt their eating anymore, shall we? glances playfully at Seraphim, who remains silent. Kirk leads you to the side of a massive vertical metal pipe, with a rough hole cut in the side. He beckons you both inside. You descend through the pipe in silence and darkness. Suddenly you come up through the ceiling of a wide and low hall. As far as you can see, crooked stools and makeshift shelters dot the grilled floor, lit by scavenged lanterns and light strips. Steam drifts up through the grates, concealing the room so that you cannot see the walls. Welcome to the Rhyme Market. Kirk gestures a thick hand at the ramshackle interior. Lottic don't know about this place, he smiles. Let's get a drink. He leads you off to a nearby stall with a set of improvised stools welded to the floor in front. He hooks his legs into one, and you and Seraphim follow suit. He holds up 3 fingers to the stall's owner, and a drink in a straw-pierced packet is handed to each of you. Seraphim looks skeptically at the drink. We friends now or something? Look, Kirk takes a sip. I'm going to apologise for putting you on your ass. That's on you. But like I said, I represent the contractors. If someone is part of the family, well, he shrugs his massive shoulders, then they deserve to be heard out at least. Seraphim speaks. Enough. You know Luz. I saw it in your eyes. Seraphim glares at him. Where is she? Describe her. Kirk leans back to the stool. I'm not giving you anything more until you prove she's your sister. Seraphim closes his hair. Dark hair, used to wear it long and messy, bright eyes, broad shoulders. You see a little twitch around his eyes as he recalls. Tough but kind, tattoos. Nervous laugh. He opens his eyes and glares at Kirk. That enough? Kirk sniffs. Yeah, that's her. He feels something jump in Seraphim. An almost imperceptible tension rising. It's her, his sister. Luz. Kirk slowly speaks slowly, drinking between. Or whatever her real name is, it's one of the contractors here. Part of the most recent contract Lottic registered. That means, just tell me where she is, Seraphim demanded, his impatience getting the better of him. As I was saying, Kirk gives Seraphim a pointed look. The new contractors are restricted to the pithead. In fact, that is where we were discussing when you interrupted our meeting. Seraphim looks away in frustration but holds his tongue. Since the war, the Lottic Syndicate has been trying to lock down the wellspring. They went from a loose association of mining groups to an autocracy and started enforcing contracts with some serious overreaching terms. Your sister is on one of those contracts, like we're acting like they own her and the others, because according to their contracts they do, which is exactly what we want to do something about. This cycle, he forcefully taps the bar with a finger, we are voting on strike action and bring a full blockade of Flotsam. We will bring the syndicate to the table. Let me just plan this for us in one moment. There we go. Seraphim knocks his drink away and kicks off the table, disappearing into the market. Go after him! You catch up with Seraphim in the bustle of the Rye Market, among the steam and crowds. Can't have been the only one who saw this pitch coming a mile off. Seraphim with a bristled anger. What kind of idiots does he think we are? Is that what this is about? We should go back. No way, Seraphim glares at you. You heard that guy. He was about to recruit us for his great crusade against the Syndicate. Seraphim starts to push through the crowd towards the exit tunnel. I'm no one's tool, and you shouldn't be either, Sleeper. He shoves his way forward. We don't need to get tied up in this. We just need to get her out. Seraphim forges on ahead, and you get caught in the crowd behind him. As he disappears from view, a heavy hand falls on your back. I want to help you, Sleeper. Kirk's bright eyes meet yours. The Syndicate will do nothing for him or you. Trust me. But I need your help. In return, Kirk sighs. I want to help. Good, Kirk nods. I knew you would. Kirk places a plastic pass card into your hand. It glints with the mark of a Lottic Syndicate, a blurry ID photo laminated into a transparent interior. This will help you get into the pithead. You can see for yourself what's happening there. Don't follow your friend to Lottic. Go to your pithead. Go to the pithead. Final as yourself. He meets your eyes. When you do, come back to me and we can discuss how to free her and everyone else like her. If you go to Lottic, if you meet with them, I can't help you. He releases your forearm and drifts back into the crowd, disappearing into seams of darkness. You float there for a moment, buffeted by passing people, push onto the Lottic Pass, and decide what to do next. Oh, that's causes a little bit of problem in it. Lottic operations, Wellspring Pithead. Oh wow, I didn't realise this place is so huge. It really is just a hollowed out asteroid. Pretty neat. Negotiate me and Seraphim wants to meet with local Syndicate bosses to negotiate systems release, which will help Syndicate business, but then we have the relationship with the other guy and Wellspring Pithead. We can just head in here. With a light pass, like any member of the work crews, and get access. Let's have a little look. See if we can find her first. Pithead Canteen, Wellspring Shaft. Canteen, Sneaky Meal, Canteen Ban. Your light pass isn't actually yours. If they find out, I won't be able to eat here anymore. Interesting. Have a munch. Search for Lurs, join a work crew. Let's search. Search for a sister. So our good friend that has helped us through thick and thin, we need to find the sister. Best we can. Let's have a snooze on the old rig. There's been a lot this cycle, wow. Oh, my back. Okay, some pretty solid rolls actually. Positive, positive. Yeah, we got some munch. Lovely. Right, let's do our shift here. Let's search for Luz. So the description, we'll be able to find her. We're all sixes, we should find her this turn. The shaft descends towards a sump in the depths of the pit. Here, the air is freezing cold to prevent the ice from melting into globules of floating water. If your breath carried water, you're able to see it in the air, but the absence of steam in each exhalation only serves to remind you of your own strangeness. Not that anyone else notices. The workers' heads are low, their eyes fixed on their work, scuttling chunks of ice and tools up and down the shaft. At the end of the nearby tunnels, you see the bright sparks of ice cutting in progress, start hanging in the air in the strange way they do in 0G. Some loose memories of the time before Darkside, before Lane, before Freedom come to your mind. Familiarity of the cold, the sparks, the endless toil, that chills you more than the packed ice on either side of you ever could. You reach the bottom of the shaft, a metal grille marking the terminus. It squeals as you push open the barred door set into it, and safety lights flicker on, lighting up glittering ice particles all around in their hard beams. It's as if all the stars are held here, in this cavern. As your eyes adjust, the massive space comes into focus. It seems to have no up or down, just countless dark shafts and terraced pits cut into its side. All around, silhouetted by their work lights, contractors cut and gather. This is where those locked-in workers are being held, caught in a contract clause that permits an endless shift. The atmosphere is grim. In the center of the cavern floats a construction of welded-together habitation units. Heavy twisted cables stretches from this improvised structure past you and up the shaft behind, covering it to a central power source. On each of the 6 sides of this strange apartment block, a set of struts project outwards, bracing the construction against the cavern walls. The block itself is wrapping in isolation, clad in protective plates. It glows with small apertures and lights. You approach the nearest entrance. Everything is bitten by rust, by decay. If the bars on the entrance weren't a clear enough indicator, it is obvious now that this place is a prison. The door scissors open, letting out a blast of warm air. You quickly duck inside and it seals rapidly behind you. The cramped interior passage glows warmly, but its rugged condition keeps it from feeling cozy. You follow the corridor, ducking beneath hanging wires and loose insulation. This is where you were told you'd find Luz, whoever her real name was. You come out into a communal mess. Counters and food preparation units fitted into the walls, cushioned stools and couches scattered around. A couple of contractors are stretched out in the space, one of them snoring loudly in the corner, another sipping from a food packet on a stool. Suddenly, a door on the far side opens to the cavern, letting in a flurry of ice shards that quickly become scattered orbs of water. You watch the figure as they glide into the warm light of the interior. With their dark hair and bright eyes, you know this is who you are looking for. Is this Seraphine's sister? I like the question mark. You meet eyes with hers and something sparks in that dull and cloying broom. It's as if she recognises you. Sleeper? She looks in a haze, her hair stuck to her forehead with sweat, her eyes still adjusting to the interior. Luz? She nods slowly. You see her scan you, taking in your clothes, the way you hold yourself, your face. For a moment you feel exposed, aware of your damaged vinyl skin, your industrial markings, your doll-like features. You feel the familiar sense of being objectified, but also something warmer below it. It's a recognition of what you are. She blinks, exhales, and shakes her head, realizing that she is a mistake. She is mistaken. Give me a sec, alright? I just finished cutting 100 cubic meters of ice. He pulls back a hood. Haven't seen you down here before. Did I just contract you or something? The tension drops, but you get the feeling she isn't quite looking at you. She crosses to a food unit and pulls out a packet. slotting it into a warmer. She thumbs it on. First sleeper I've seen in a long while. She doesn't take her eyes off and slowly warms the slowly warming food. You'll do okay down here. I know you folks are tough and stick with a job. That's good. The rest I can show you once I've eaten. She laughs a little to herself. I'm with your brother. My brother? She pauses, her eyes not leaving the warmer. I think you're confused with someone else. Stop. We need to talk. She turns to face you, and you see a wet shine in her eyes. What are you going on about? You realise what you need to tell her. Seraphine is on Wellspring. The warmer chimes to let her know the food packet is ready, but she doesn't seem to notice. Seraphine takes a ragged breath and steadies herself. Here? Not here, at the cut. She nods and then shakes her head. Well, if he trusts you with his name, I guess I should trust you in mine. She comes closer. I'm Tala. Gives a sort of smile. Now, where's my idiot brother? Seraphine's right, it says Tala. I'll take you to him. She laughs nervously. Sorry, this is not what I was expecting on my lunch break. Which is fair enough! Tala suddenly seems to take on some energy. She glances towards the corridor behind you at its end. I'm not sure you have a plan to leave because they do not want us locked in contractors getting out. She moves towards the corridor, they're securing the shaft, and then again at the pit head. We must have passed through the checkpoint at the entrance too. I doubt we can bypass all those. She turns back, grabs her food packet, smiles at you, and shepherds you towards the corridor. You could run a distraction maybe? Or is Sarah on that already? You're slightly taken aback by a sudden change. We're gonna have to... We don't actually... Ooh, what are we gonna do? We don't actually... blaring alarm sounds inside the habitation module. Loud enough to wake the sleeping contractor with a start. You and Tala exchange glances. Surely this can't be for you? Tala rushes down the corridor and tears open the door at the far end, with you following close behind. The ice scatters, glittering in the interior light. The cavern is in chaos, and you see a dark-suited Lotic security wrestling with contractors, lit by flashing red alerts. More contractors are coming in through the door in the grill you entered from, carrying bulky equipment. The equipment is blaring out a voice, Kirk's voice, echoing around the cavern. Look of panic crosses Tala's face. A general strike is now in effect. All contractors should down tools and hold in place. Extraction will cease until our terms are met. Kirk's voice distorts and shifts. We have blockaded all traffic to and from Wellspring. We seek the resignation of the syndicate leadership and for new worker councils to be installed in its place. This cycle, we will shut down the shaft. Any worker not willing to strike should leave now. There is a screech of noise and the message begins repeating. You watch the security push back towards the grill, outnumbered by the gathering workers. Tala looks out your guidance. Now's our chance. Tala looks around the cavern, the red lights reflecting her wide eyes. I need to stay. I won't abandon the others. What about Seraphine? Tell my brother what's happening. Tell him I'm not leaving until all of us are free. Tala backs away, glancing over her shoulder at the others. You see them gathering their tools and taking them to be locked away in the hab module. I need to see this through, Sleeper, and you need to go. Find Seraphine, do what you can from out there. Help us change this place. And with that, she turns and glides off towards the others. You turn and head for the grill as quickly as you can. The way now cleared by the contractors, a handful of Lotic security pushed back somewhere near the pit head. As you ascend, other contractors shooting you dark looks as you do. You realise you have to speak with Kirk. You find Kirk at the pit head, directing contractors to barricade the entry points to the mine. So, you took my advice. Good, Kirk smiles. Glad to have you as an ally here, Sleeper. What's happening now? The syndicate was arrogant. They did not believe we could do this. Kirk gestures towards the contractors while doing plating across the checkpoints, but we far outnumbered them. The monopoly here ends. How can I help? Kirk leads you a little way away from the contractors. If you want to free those like Seraphine's sister, I will need your help. We have ships, but not many, and the syndicate still has tankers in operation. Our blockade is not complete. The debris field between here and the far spindle remains open. We need another tanker to occupy it and dissuade the syndicate from trying to pass. We need to persuade our friends. All our ships are in use, but your ship and your crew could help us take a tanker and secure the blockade. You want me to storm a tanker? This is not an assault. Cook puts a hand on your shoulder. The tanker, the Headstream, has been held outside Wellspring for many cycles. The crew is tired and sympathetic to our cause. We'll just give them a nudge. Your ship will be posed as an in-distress trader trapped inside the debris field. When the Headstream is obliged to rescue, we will applaud and encourage the crew to take control. You want me inciting a mutiny? Trust me when I say that their captain does not deserve his charge. This is a liberation. Kirk folds his arms across his chest. Will you do it? I'll consider it. Consider your options carefully, Sleeper, he smiles. You think the syndicate wants anything to do with you now? They have been watching me, and so they know about you. Suddenly Kirk puts two fingers on his mouth and blasts off a shrill whistle. A contractor quickly approaches with a large box, the front marked by screens and dials and backed by loose cables. You will need this HasNav unit to navigate the debris field. He nods at the contractor. Gensei will install it on your ship. Consider it a gift from our cause to yours. He nods once more and Jen passes by you, heading for a lift to the docking ring with your new module. We'll provide the headstream's coordinates. He moves away, towards the contractor still working at the checkpoint, and I'll wait for your word. You leave the pit head behind, your mind racing. You do not know how you'll have ended up in the middle of all this, but you know that it will be up to you to pilot your way out. Sleeper! Seraphin comes up the passage towards you. What's happening? I heard the pit head has been taken over by Kirk's guys. This you realise will take a lot of explaining. New local crew available? Ooh, who's the local crew available? Have a look. Wonder if we can get the sister. Prime market. Buy rare components. Buy scrap components. Okay. Anything else over here? So we can't do anything over here for now. Prime market. Chasm row. Anything here? Buy supplies. Full supplies. Not going to do that. Plastic depot. Hot water. Rig. Anything rig? No. I'm assuming it's a map thing. Yep. Headstream. Got it. We'll want to up our supplies first. That's right market? No, that's the components. Great. Chasm row. Full supplies. Let's do that. Fill up our fuel as well because that can go very badly. If we don't. Cut water. Shift by meal. We need a meal now if we're heading out. Upper shifts by full fuel. Fill off fuel. Fuel is very cheap in this game. In comparison to the supplies anyway. The rig. How are we doing? We're good. Let's add some map. Let's head off to the headstream now. We've got Kirk and me and Liz. Let's do it. Confirm crew. Confirm crew. We're off. I know Seraphin won't be particularly happy about this, but we're going to have to live with our decisions on this one. The rig. The headstream looms large in the cockpit. Windows as it comes to a stop. Can't believe you talked me into this, Seraphin sighs. This is not a good plan. Convincing Seraphin to take Kirk out of this like freighter wasn't exactly easy, but with the pit head on lockdown, there really wasn't any other options. The voice crackles over Seraphin's terminal, loud enough to hear, but quiet enough that you can't pick out what's being said. Stay silent. There is the urge to ask. The tension in the cockpit is palpable. All of you aware that this ruse could fall apart at any moment. Seraphin, you look behind you to see Kirk flying by the doorway. You keep them talking, alright? Seraphin flicks on the comm switch and begins speaking to the Lotic ship, thanking them for their responding to the distress signal, trying his best to play the part of a nervous trader suffering an engine failure in the debris field. Kirk jets his head to you and you follow him into the corridor, and you unclip from your seat and float out behind him. If it's okay with you, I'm going to play the captain in this one. His flat stare suggests he isn't asking permission. Fine by me. Kirk nods, I appreciate it. Let me tell you how this is going to go. He starts moving downwards towards the airlock and you follow as he talks. The headstream has been holding here, cycle after cycle, while Wellspring tried to quash our little rebellion. He smiles at the idea. Now that blockade is in effect, well, they'll know that they have to hold out for a longer still, while the message from Lotto corporations gets less and less frequent. Stops by the locker, swapping his Lotic uniform for an old flight jacket. This is a ship full of tired, unhappy, underpaid and underfed workers. You both arrive at the airlock. You just have to nudge their anger in the right direction. There's a hiss as the airlock cycles. Lotic are coming aboard. Kirk catches your eyes and gives you a wink. The airlock doors scissor open, revealing a drained-looking Lotic captain flanked by security officers. Bold Lotic captain. Lambert. Lambert, captain of the Headstream. He presents himself immediately, but with little enthusiasm. We have been in communication with your pilot and a docking has requested to provide support. He looks between you and Kirk, his eyes lingering on you a little too long, no doubt taking in the strange vinyl skin, dark glowing eyes, and doll-like face of your frame. He directs his attention to Kirk. How fares your crew? Thank you, Captain. You notice the immediate change in Kirk. His deflated posture and soft speech. We are surviving as best we can, but now that you've come to our rescue, he sighs and holds out an eager hand to Lambert. We're very grateful indeed. Lambert limply shakes Kirk's hand. Not to worry, the Lotic Syndicate takes its stewardship of Wellspring and the surrounding environs seriously. It's our duty to offer aid to traders and travellers alike. I'm afraid we don't have to offer by much of supplies. Our stores have been depleted by our long posting here. but your crew is free to enter our ship and make use of its facilities while you make your repairs. Cook continues playing the submissive captain, nodding enthusiastically and uttering a stream of thank yous. You feel like he's pushing it a little though. Lambert only seems to be paying the minimum attention to him. Suddenly, he turns a sharp eye to you. Your pilot didn't mention you had a sleeper aboard. Stay silent. Quickly responds, apologies. They're such a good worker and quiet too. We sometimes forget they are even there. Perhaps if your ship is in need of maintenance, you can borrow them for a few cycles? Lambert eyes you more brazenly now, taking Kirk's lead as permission to indulge his curiosity. Yes. His eyes trace a tear in the thick skin of your forearm. Perhaps it could be of use to us. Kirk smiles. I'll send them to speak with your crew. I'm sure they can direct the sleeper to appropriate tasks. Oh, they'd love that, Lambert jokes. They're a work-shy bunch, like Slot. I'm sure they'd be eager for a slave. The word sets you on edge. Stay silent. We're happy to serve, Cut bows. After all, we owe you our safety. Very good. Lambert seems suddenly bored or tired, or perhaps both. Tell your crew they are free to cross the boarding tunnel then. He pauses, but remind them that no funny business will be tolerated. He smiles a sharp smile. I have a matter to attend to. Lambert turns. See you later, Captain. And with that, Lambert heads back down the tunnel, still flanked by his two silent security officers. Kirk waits until he is out of sight to turn to you. Good. He lets out a breath. Well held, sleeper. I thought from the look in your eye you were going to knock him out. He chuckles. I'd love to. I bet. Kirk stares down the corridor, but don't you worry, we're going to pay him back for all that very soon. Kirk squeezes your shoulders. So go meet this crew, see what their opinions are on Lotic's administration. He smiles broadly. With a captain like that, I thought that'd be very positive. Bliss! Kirk, let's get this job done. Engine room, navigation control, payload ops. Engine room. Sabotage engines, criticize contracts. Engine room crews are always the worst paid. A little bit of contract discussion should spread discontent. Engine support heads through mutiny. I think we want the support. We don't want them freaking out on us. We want their support fully. Actually, to be fair, I should probably check what each of these says. Navigation controls, debate wellsprings, falsify delta. Let's room mutiny. Turning each section of the crew against the captain is a job. It isn't going to be easy. Navigators are supporting of Lambert, less so of Lotic overall. Operation support. Operations have been poorly treated by Lotic. They're ready for alternatives. Let's room mutiny. The mutiny is really easy to do, by the looks of it. But if we have a full-out mutiny, I feel like that's not good. If we can get the operation support and let's show them the better, it doesn't lead to what I feel like could be quite a few deaths. So let's follow this path. Obviously, we don't want any security lockdowns. At the first message, there'll be a lockdown, so we've got to be very, very careful. Bliss is not good at this. What about here? Is Bliss got any that she's going to be good at? That they're going to be good at? Not particularly. Bliss isn't the perfect operative for this one. Let's have our snooze. Hope we get some better rolls, because I want... actually, to be fair, I could have probably used the 4 and the 3 even. That's what it is. We got some decent enough rolls this time. Some 4s all round. 4s for everyone, pretty much. Positive. Whew. Positive again. We're getting there. We just need some more positives. No, bad 25%. No, bad 25%. No, no, no. Nothing bad. Okay. One really positive one, and we've got it. Come on, be positive, be positive, be positive! Uh-oh. Crap. Comms array. Sabotage comms, comms cut. Going the ship's comms is a drastic move. If their word of a mutiny is out to Wellspring, you're in trouble. Which could have gone better. I'm assuming that's going to raise the chaos factor a little bit until we stop it. We're going to need to sleep because we are... Yeah, one stress per cycle. Or crisis. Yeah. Increasing. Let's go and deactivate that immediately. Bliss had probably the worst roll I've ever seen Bliss roll, considering he can't do that. But I've got 2 6s though. This will work. I think we'll get it this time. Let's deactivate this. Pretend that didn't happen. We've cut the comms. It's okay. Whew. Let's take this room. Right, we've got engineer support. No, we haven't got engineer support. Why didn't that go through? I thought I would have done it. Huh. Let's get engineer support. We've got to support headstream. Oh! So we can do either of these. Okay, understood. I thought it meant as in like only one part of it would enter. Okay. Okay, so we need the mutiny on every level. Got it. Got it, got it, got it. I thought it was like head for a mutiny or do that one of the two, not that you do both. That's my fault. But fine, we understand now. Positive is positive, I'll take that. So the floors are 100% are on this, minimum. And then, oh, sorry, 50 or a 50. Here, this will be the tough one. This is going to be the tough one because I can't really do... I know we can all do stuff here except for Bliss. The Bliss is quite useless on this one. It sounds quite bad. For Bliss. We haven't got too many supplies left, so we're going to be very, very quick and careful with this one. Debate the Wellspring, falsify data. So we'll falsify data as we have bonus. Why are they gaining stress even though this is like 100%? I don't understand. Without being seen. Okay, so maybe our info is kind of being caught. I'm sure we're adding stress to this no matter what. Maybe we only do that one if we have a 6. He can't do this one, so we don't want to even attempt it. Let us head back to the rig and end the cycle. We're getting very close considering we've only done a little bit of this one, so we need to be really, really careful. Explore, set here. Okay, at least these will be a 6, 100% positive. So that shouldn't be caught. Yeah. Because it's 100% and we don't get caught on those, I don't think. We shouldn't, in theory, get caught. Okay, perfect. I think we might as well just check out the next area, see if they get any bonuses on this one. Nope, so Bliss can't do this one. He's not doing great on this one, and we're one off the next thing, so I might as well rest again. Sorry about that. I know it might seem like, oh no, why are you using them? But trust me, we're cooking. And in the worst case, I'll do a push. Which is reboot config, we gain stress, but re-roll 2 lowest dice. We'll do that now. Which wasn't great, but it's what it is. Navigation control. Let's... Okay, terrible rolls from everyone this turn. This could go badly, but let's do it. Come on, you've got it, you've got it, you've got it, don't get caught. No! We've got the crew, though. We've got this area at least. We're just going to have to deal with this distress beacon. Disable beacon. Beacon has triggered the ship. The captain has triggered the ship's distress beacon in desperation. The longer it is on, the more likely Loic is to send support. We get bonuses on this one, so we might as well just do it. Well, there's a chance. Crap. Getting stress. We'll have to leave that for next turn. Hopefully not get caught. And cycle. Good rolls, good rolls, good rolls. We need good rolls. We've broken a die. That's not good. Not at a time like this. Right, and they can't do this, so it has to be me. Fine. At least we get the bonus. 6s and 5s will make this happen. 6s and 5s will make this happen, I'm 100%. Deactivate it. Hey, Russell, bone chilling. How are you, my friend? Supply's empty as well. This is really not looking good. We're all going to gain stress the next turn. Discuss the war, tamper with the payload. If we tamper with the A-load, we'll get caught. We might as well do this one where we're a bit more safe. And obviously, she can do it, so we have to do discuss the war. Oh my god. We're out of food, Russ. We're out of food. It's not looking good. This ship is ours. It's not. I can promise you now. Ah, Star Citizen. Okay, nice, nice. How's it going? What are you up to tonight? Minus 2 stress. Reroll 6. Okay. I can't level up. Oh, we're out. That's interesting. Control location. Config can be changed. We're going to have to sleep a night, but it's going to raise our stress, which isn't great. Explore and see. Ah, okay, okay. How's it all going? You having fun? Right, so even though we're going to gain crew stress on our own stress, we can reduce that when we're back in the safety of a city. Right now, we're going to have to figure it out while we go along with some good rolls. Mediocre rolls. We need to gain full operational support before we can do anything. You got it. But we're out of supplies, which is the danger. 3 is too low. 5 will reduce to 3 here, won't it? Yeah. No, let's not do that. Go back in, payload up. Invest 25, 50, 25. We could have a push, see if... And that's stress. Reroll 2 lowest dice. We might as well leave and just attempt it on our next one. Because that way, we're gaining stress anyway. Might as well. Just chilling. I like it. I like it. You on with the others from the 3AD? 3AD. Alright, go on. Discuss that war. Get them to like us. So close. We might as well just do the push. We got a 5. We broke some dice, but we got a 5. We're gonna be okay. We're gonna be okay. This best hit, otherwise we're in a big trouble. Yes! Oh, thank God! Small group. Okay, okay. My stress is so high at the moment, my God. Kurt rushes into the bay you were crossing. It's all kicking off Sleeper, wide gleam in his eyes. Lambert's lost control. He guides you through the headstream, a ship you've become surprisingly familiar with over the past few cycles. Perhaps is the influence of getting to know the crew and their complaints about Lambert and the Syndicate. Those twisting corridors, picked pipes, and cold metal have taken on an oppressive feel, cycle by cycle, hour by hour. Nice little small group, I hope you're enjoying it. It was cool, the videos we were watching earlier. At least I caught a glimpse of. Now as the shots of conflict echo down the corridor ahead, where a room glows with a warm light of the galley, you feel that oppressive pull being scraped away, replaced with something new, with some new and exciting quality. Enough! Lambert shouts like a shot as you enter the crowded galley. From what you can tell, more than half the crew have crowded into this space and are clumped around, some perched on side units. I order you to return to your stations! Lambert floats slightly above the crowd, his hands held in a gesture of futile calming or nervous surrender. You see him glance around his shoulder, and tracing his view, you see security officers tensely gathering at the back of the room. Approach them. Every hand you know as Kirk falls on your shoulder as you try to move into the crowd. Just wait, Kirk winks, and you turn to see the security officers moving through the crowd. If you will not retreat willingly, I will have no other choice than to use force. Lambert's voice breaks a part of anger. Disperse! You watch as the guards form up behind Lambert, and then one moves forward and grabs him, forcing his arm behind his back. The actor's message raucous cheer from the assembled crew, and a yelp from Lambert himself. He's forced through the crowd, who part and jeer, heading directly from the corridor which you entered. When Lambert is close, Kurt nods to the security officer holding him, and they stop. Lambert looks up in confusion and stares directly into Kurt's grin. You are officially removed from duty as the captain of the headstream. On the authority of the Wellspring Workers Alliance, Kirk's tone is direct and flipped. This is done and with the authority of majority ballot of your crew. Workers Alliance? You have no authority, you're pirates! Lambert spits at Kirk. There will be consequences! On that, we agree. Kirk nods to security officers, and they wrench a struggling Lambert from the room. Kirk watches Lambert go, determination set in his heavy brow. I understand you. Hope this doesn't go to your head. What will happen to him? Lambert can enjoy the hospitality of his own brig. Kirk pats you on the back. We have a celebration to muster. The galley erupts in liberated joy, and soon drinks and food are passed around from a stash Lambert had been asking the quartermaster to keep back for his own use. You settle on the counter and look on as the crew celebrates. You watch as Kirk moves effortlessly through the room, giving and receiving thanks in equal measure. Despite his intimidating appearance, you see in him someone softer coming to the surface, something reserved for those he has struggled alongside, fresh allied or old friends to him. After the celebration has died down, and the crew have retreated to their plans of supporting the blockade, holding out on what they have, Kirk approaches you. Not toasting the victory, he offers you a trance bag of ship-brewed moonshine. To the crew of the headstream, Kirk smiles. To our comrades. I think it's time we return to Wellsprings. He looks off towards the last crew members leaving the room. We've done our job. Say the word. I'm just the pretend captain, Kirk smiles. That ship out there is yours to command and everyone knows it. You suddenly notice how exhausted Kirk looks, his eyes dark and hooded. He looks down towards the scuffled floor. You did well here. He smiles weakly. He certainly stirred something up. He pauses. I don't want to overthink it. Lambert is right. retaliation will come. He looks around the room. I hope they will be ready when it does. He sighs a heavy sigh. Kirk takes a deep breath and lets it out slow. The struggle goes on. He pushes off from the counter and heads towards a docking bridge. You take a moment before you follow, your mind drifting to the crew and the struggles they have ahead. As you do, a small and perhaps unfair part of you thinks, well, life in the belt. Let's get out of here. Spire a peaceful mutiny on the headstream. Yes, that's what I was after all along. Peaceful. -5 stress, but it won't be all of our stress, which is the annoying part. We'll have to live with that. Look, we've still got 2 stress and we're starving. The cut thrums with tension. This steaming city and its fresh inhabitants have quieted. Not to silence, but to a low rumble of conversation. The blockade is holding, the syndicate is waning, and everywhere there are plans to be made. You and Seraphim float idly in Chasm Row, many stories deep in this wound and wellspring side, waiting on Kurt, not far from the first place you met. Meeting Seraphim still has lingering bruises from. Kirk is inside somewhere, and like every other Lottic contractor, he is making plans. Even before you arrive back in Wellspring, he had hijacked the rig's transmission to speak with his fellow conspirators and make arrangements for his arrival. Watching Kirk's plot unfold made you realise that, despite your involvement, in the end you were just a subsidiary part of this struggle, chaotic outside actor, with effect, no real influence. I hope everything's going well for everyone watching. I hope you're all enjoying those who are around. Quite an interesting little game, liking this so far. Now waiting for Kirk's return, you feel a little solace in that. You aren't ready to be dragged into another struggle. Not yet. You still have your freedom to win, and looking at Seraphim next to you, you know that he does too. Alright, we're on. Kirk comes out of the passage on a bike, nodding to you to follow. He leads you both to the round market passageway, this time not to the streaming market halls that lies beneath the deeper streets, but to a cramped room, walled with pipes and rusted panels. Just a little longer, he nods to both of you. Hold here. He exchanges a serious look with you before pushing off and gliding back out of the room. You watch Kurt go, your relationship having settled into a quiet mutual respect. His eyes are on bigger things now, workers' councils and contract negotiations, and you know that. Perhaps one cycle ahead, you will find a moment to drink together once again and discuss everything that has happened. For now, Kirk has other things on his mind. Seraphim settles again. You shoot him a look, but your focus is elsewhere. His eyes glazed over. You fold your arms and wait. Sarah? Tala enters so quietly, in the dim room you barely notice her. Shoots you a look and smiles as she enters. Thank you, she mouths silently, and then turns her attention to her brother. Tala? Seraphim says her name like a sigh, like an exhale. He's shaking his head, his eyes already shining an uncontrollable emotion within. He rushes across the room, flying into Seraphim at speed. They embrace softly, spinning in the dust and dart, their fingers dug into each other's backs. They separate, a couple of pristine spheres of briny tears spinning away through the air as they do. You're safe. Seraphim nods, taking a breath. I'm safe. She smiles reassuringly, settling him. And in this settling, this gesture of care, you see a whole network of signs and secrets Tala is the calm to Seraphim's storm, the big sister who eases his heart. She looks him up and down. You're so big, Sarah. She laughs at her own statement. You've grown up. Tries to make it sound approving rather than patronising. You're just the same sister, Seraphim shakes his head. Calling me big, making me feel small. The moment the statement leaves his lip, you feel a chill in the room, and you aren't sure how he meant it. Tala flinches a little, hurt, but not wanting to show it. I came to find you, Tala tries again. I needed to find you. Seraphim looks torn. You see in him something you've come to recognise. Slow and careful raising of his defences. Why now? He looks away. It's been a long time, Tala. Mom and Dad finally decide they want me to come home. A ripple of emotion runs through Tala. One she can't hide. Sarah, after you left, they're gone. She sighs. I thought you would have. She struggled to find the words. It's been a long time. It has. Seraphim sets his face into a stunned look of control. You know he is raging inside. In this moment, you feel closer to him than you've felt in a while. Tala folds her arms, trying to regain a little control of the exchange. It's good to see you, Sarah. So good. You know what is coming, and you see Seraphim brace for it too. I can't leave with you. She looks pained. This isn't easy for her either. Seraphim can only nod, dulling acceptance washing over him. I wanted to find you, and I have. I can see you are strong and well, and... She glance. You have your life here. But the people here, the other contractors, they were the ones that found me, who have kept me going since I ended up here, desperate and alone. She smiles warmly. It's not that I owe them, it's that they are my family too. She gently places her hand on his shoulder. I know you understand this, she smiles at you. We all find our families out here. Seraphin smiles a rare smile, his eyes wet. We do it, sister. He embraces her again. They separate and Tyler turns her attention to you. I know you would take care of my brother, Sleeper, she smiles. I saw it in your eyes when you came to the pit head. She approaches and puts her hand to your shoulder. I can see you were building something of value on that ship of yours. Thank you. I hope so. I'll take care of something. I'm sure you will, she exhales and takes her hand away. She folds her arms again, a sense of control returning. There is wisdom and experience to Tyler that brings a certain calm to you, and you feel that now. Will you two be staying here for a while, or... Tyler looks between you and Seraphin. Seraphin cuts in, but we can answer. Not long. He smiles. We have our own freedom to find. Tyler nods. Just be aware, you're free to pass the blockade, but after that, she sighs. Wellspring is going to be locked down for a little while, at least until Kirk can establish his council. Next time you come, she smiles proudly. This will be a very different place. Hearing Tyler say this, you suddenly see the authority in her. You realise that one of those council seats may well have her name on it. You look between the two of them and realise that they have years to catch up on, and they'd probably rather to do that without you watching. You nod to them and slip out of the room. A lilting conversation starting up the moment you leave. As you follow the twisted corridors back to Chasm Road, you smile to yourself at the thought of Tyler and Seraphin, reunited at last. You hope this whole adventure will make Seraphin a little less moody, even though you know deep down it'll probably make him worse. Yeah. Later in the cycle, Seraphin quietly comes back to the ring. He immediately settles himself on the cockpit and starts running diagnostics on the engine. He looks up as you enter and shoots you a smile. Good to see you up here, Sleeper. I'm getting ready to head out. How you doing? I'm good, Sleeper. Really good. He flicks a sequence of switches. Sleeper, Seraphin turns to face you. Thank you, he smiles. I appreciate you bringing us all the way out here. I won't forget it. Will Tyler be okay? She's found a place here, and I'm really happy for her. He looks away out of the cockpit windows at Wellspring. She always was more responsible. She always was the responsible one, and I was always the one running away. I guess some things never change. Seraphin quietly watches the diagnostics complete, a subtle smile on his lips. One thing is for sure. We've been here too long, Seraphin meets your eyes, and we've been seen by too many people. Wellspring may be out of Subo territory, but I'm sure Lane will find a way to reach his nasty claws out here, given enough time. Let's not give him the chance. Hey guys, Bliss's voice echoes up the passage into cockpit. You lean in the door, looking at the two of you. Two contractors just jumped a load of fuel outside our ship, said it was a gift. You and Seraphin look each other over. Got to be Kirk, Seraphin gets up. It's either a thank you or his way is telling us to get going. Seraphin kicks off and glides out the cockpit. Hey, so... Bliss smiles. Well, you two have been busy, so have I. I've been looking at the Rogue drive and I reckon it's due an upgrade. We'll need engine components, quite a few, so keep an eye out, Bliss shrugs. Shipyards tend to be a good place to look. Thanks, Bliss. Bliss winks. Anytime, they sigh. Let her go help Seraphin with that fuel. As Bliss leaves the cockpit, you find yourself lost in thought. Consider your next step, while the icy expanse of the Wellspring glitters below. Let's see our engine! Tutorial, you're now free to leave Wellspring. You now have a Hazanav unit installed and can freely travel through debris filled melt map. Nice! That was one of our sort of issues earlier. We need some repairs majorly, oh my god. How many do we need? 8. I thought we had 8 for a second. We've got 5. We have 3 more. I think we can buy them as well, so not bad. Rig workshop, we are broken. Obviously that's going to be a lot of glitches for our next few turns, but fine, we can live with that. Don't have a glitch then, nothing at all. We need to go eat as well, my god. We need supplies, we need to eat. We've got bits that need to be done. The Cutwater, give me all the food you have, please. I will eat everything. Everything. Let's go to Chasm Road, is it? Yeah, full supply, 75 full supplies. Oh my god, we're losing so much money. At least he found his sister. That's a good point. Map. Help. Right, let's have a look. So there was something to the north of here. Oh no, there's not. So we could head to Holmes Rock, Flotsam, Fast Spindle. Too far for us to go to Helium Gate. I don't think there's anything on Holmes Rock, to be honest. We can head there, because it's kind of on the way. And then, worst case, we'll head back to Fast Spindle. And then we can either head to Scatteryard after, once we're at Fast Spindle. We can head to Helium's Gate, head to Greenbelt. But I think for now, let's head back to Holmes Rock. Is what I'm thinking. Yeah, let's head here. There's not a lot on there, but I think there's some work we can do. In fact, we're right, there's still some engine parts here. So that's what I'm interested in seeing. Druid glides safely through a debris cloud, the cockpit empty apart from you and Seraphim. So, Sleeper, I've been thinking. Sarah gives you a sly look over his shoulder. I've been thinking. I'm sick of running. Me too. I mean, even if we want to keep going the way we've been, we've run out of belt. Beyond Wellspring, it's mostly rocks and enunciated scavengers. And well, I'm a city boy at heart. But not only that, Seraphim meets your eye. We've been building something here, Sleeper. The crew, the ship, he smiles. Hell, we just got this Hasnav suit for free. He thumps the new unit on top of his flight console. What I'm asking is, how do you feel about taking Lane on? Want to go to war with Atsubo? Not war, he smiles, but something else. You've seen what's happening in Wellspring, what Tala's doing. He shakes his head. Kirk is a fool, but he's onto something. Get on the inside, organise, undermine, that I can get on board with. I like the sound of that. I bet you do. Seraphim smiles. He's enjoying this. Just think about it, Sleeper. We find a way back onto Darkside quietly. Make some connections, we start something running. He turns back to his console. Be one hell of a thing. The Subo are ruthless. The way they run Darkside, they've got to be plenty of people fed up with them. Seraphim shrugs. And they've gotten worse on the lane. Worse since they pushed the other gangs out. You smile and shake your head at how fast Seraphim can bounce back whenever he wants to. And as you do, he can't help but consider his plan. Look, maybe it's crazy, but we need a safe harbour either way. I've got a connection in the scatter yards. He'll tuck us away. Keep us quiet from everyone. You see Seraphim has his coin in his hand, and he is turning it over in his fingers as he speaks. If we want, maybe we can help us get into Darkside. Maybe he can help us get into Darkside. But even if we don't, it's a good place to rest up and make a plan. He turns back to control to deal with how the rapid beat from the new Hasnav unit. Scatter yards, you've heard of them. They have a reputation as a fiercely independent set of shipyards, just starward of Darkside, a hiding place right under Lane's nose. However, Seraphim looks at you with concern. Before we try anything drastic, we need to get that body of yours looked at. Stop stalling. Get a diagnostic running your frame. His expression softens. We're here to back you up. Seraphim turns his focus back to piloting the ship. As you watch the debris flip past the ship, you turn your focus on what's ahead. Ooh, we have a lot of bits going on. We can upgrade as well. I saw it! Seraphim comes charging into the bunks. I actually saw it! His wild eyes, his breathing ragged. So what? Are you okay? Seraphim takes a moment to catch his breath. Suddenly aware of how frantic he sounds. He squints at you. Have you noticed how supplies have been going missing every so often when we travel? I have. You suddenly recall the mysterious mess was left behind in supply storage. Seraphim sees the flicker of recognition in your eyes. So after it happened a couple of times, I decided to keep an eye on our supply store. Seraphim's voice lowers his voice. You know, check it from time to time. And just this cycle, I drifted down there real quietly. He leans in and whoosh! Something flew past me. He shakes his head. Knocked me straight into the wall. Did you get a look at it? Seraphim sighs. It didn't hang around. There's definitely some kind of creature. Is there really a creature loose on the ship? You look around the berth, suddenly aware that something could be hiding nearby. Tucked into the vents, perhaps? We know that this thing likes supplies, right? Seraphim is also glancing around hiding places. So we lock them down tighter. Keep it that way. That way you'll get desperate. And then Seraphim raises his finger and will make a mistake. What are you talking about? Bliss leans in from the corridor. I can hear you all the way from the workshop. Seraphim saw the supply thief. Bliss looks between the two of you with a raised eyebrow. From the way you were talking, I'm assuming it's not human. It's something small and dark. Something fast. Seraphim looks at Bliss. We're going to lock the supplies to drive it out. Bliss looks at Seraphim. If it's an animal, we don't want to make it any more scared and desperate than it already is. How about we lock up the supplies but leave some out in a special place to try to bait it? And then grab it! Seraphim mimes out the act. No. Bliss looks between the two of you. We show it that we've nothing to fear. We tame it. It didn't seem very tameable, Seraphim rubs his sore ribs. Plus, we've already wasted enough supplies on this thing. We want to give it more. Seraphim turns to you. What do you think, Sleeper? You look between the two of them, still processing and time it. Let's try to tame it. Seraphim sighs. What a waste. Alright, Bliss nods. We'll have to come down to the supply store every few cycles and put out some food. That way it won't get desperate and do anything dangerous. And I'll lock the supplies up tight, Seraphim folds his arms. We won't get into any of them anymore. The plan's set, Bliss and Seraphim leave the berth, heading in separate directions. You watch them go. As soon as your ship is a stowaway, the question is, how will you deal with it? Little kitty, by the sound of it. Right, drive. We can upgrade. Let's upgrade. I'm thinking engage is quite good. The pushes are good, but we don't use them enough. Like, we don't have enough opportunities to use them. I think either engineer, obviously we can't do anything with endure, which is annoying. But we can either upgrade to a... do we make interface max? then we get a lot of engineer into it and engage moments. Let's do engineer. Engineer interface, so we can do into it engage. At least get them all as a bonus, and then we can upgrade that. Which I think will be good. Head to our ship. Let's head to the bunks, because we're stressed. Let's give this, pardon me, 3 attempts. Fail. Oh no, we haven't got 3 attempts, we've only got 2 glitches. Okay. Fail. 50-50, it's fine, we'll give it a go. Positive, yay! Lost some stress. Let's head back out and explore, see if we can get anything. Send us rest. Buy a meal, full supplies, buy supplies, sell engine components. We don't want to sell engine components, God. Sun catchers, fix broken arrays, debug array systems, sell raw scrap, but we can debug arrays very, very well. Let's make some money because we're quite low at the moment, especially if we might need to buy some engine parts in the time to come. Oh, we could buy engine parts on the other station. Oh, god damn it. We can't go back there for a while either. We haven't got any info, so we can't open up the Neo Vend. Freighter? Anything to help offload freight, buy fuel. Well, we're not really trained to do that, sadly. Suncatcher. Let's just do more debug. There's not really much we can do. We'll stay for the free so we can earn some cryo, but not much we can do here. What's this? What's this down here? Does it do anything? Tame stowaway. Oh, we're going to use a lot of supplies doing this, aren't we? Okay, I don't know why I just used so many supplies doing that. It's so expensive. And the cycle will fill up on resources with the last of our remaining few chits and money. Let's head back into bunks. Let's see. I want to use this because there's no real negative if this fails, and there's a little positive if we succeed. But we get an achievement anyway. So let's head back to bunks. Let's use up the 2, see if we can get it with that. We'll even use up the 1 because there's no like major negative to this if it fails. 50-50. I mean, there's a higher chance of 2018. There we go. We're no longer stressed. We are peace. We're at peace. And let's explore and see what we can gather. Full supplies is 80. Fuel, what's... Oh, so much money. So much money. We might as well. We need it. Supplies is a big one. Fuel, not as difficult to attain, I guess. At least with the debug arrays, we can earn some money before we go. And we're going to have to head out and earn some moolah, definitely. Let's look for... What was it? Here, where we can get the fuel? Well, this fuel is relatively cheap, but even though it's cheap, it's still more than what we have at the moment. And the fact we're going to have to use food on that. Let's look at the belt. How... Oh, no. Belt. Let's have a look. So we've got scatter yards, dark side. Too far, way too far. We can head to fast spindle. So we can go to Potsdam or fast spindle or Helium Gate. I think we do a retrack of our steps. Potsdam, or we could head to fast spindle. See if there's any independent trading stations, if there's any trade. Derelict Solheim checkpoint, probably get some good Solheim data there. But I think I'm going to retrace my steps. It might be difficult, but we can head to Flotsam first. Fast spindle, sorry. We know kind of what's that Flotsam. We can head to fast spindle. Minus 300. Obviously, we could have stayed here. Oh, we should have probably communicated for a few times to gather up resources and money, to be honest, but my fault. Got impatient. Got impatient. Sorry, we're back to the crew members that may not want to be back here. Scrap components, process for scrap. Deliver process scrap and bulk, pay for the offcuts, and return to the process plates. That's not a bad deal. That's actually really good. We should have done that. I forgot what we can do here. Guys, bar, cupcakes, yeah, order and wrap, drink, bundle trade hall, buy supplies for fuel. So we need to save up 40 credits on frying works. Signal station, align arrays. Obviously, we're very, very good at that, so we might as well. We get 13 cryo, take that quite happily. Global adventure. Gambling, let's do a 6. We can earn some money. We'll get kicked out, but we might as well. 25 cryo and we're banned. We can live with that. Hey, we've earned a bit of our money back. We've earned enough fuel to keep us going now, but what we'll do is rest. Actually, 1 second. Let me head to that scrapper's ship. I wonder if they sell any parts. Scrap shift, process for scrap. I know, that was the other part. By scrap components. Interesting. Let's shift there, see if we can get anything. Let's end this cycle. Oh, so we can let it go to 3 and then feed it. Sorry, that's my fault. I didn't read that properly before. And I threw 2 food at it thinking it was a bar that was going to fill up. No, we're keeping the stowaway from going hungry. Okay. So we'll go out scavenging supplies the best we can. That is a lot of balls. Wow, that is that is quite the roll. Let's head to Spindle Ledge. What can we do here? Stealing shift, that's not for us. Numbers Kitchen, I think we can work. Ah, that's the food. Yeah. We will eventually try and gather some. Obviously, we don't have any options yet. And this, at least, it's positive scrap ship. Let's see, what can we get? We get cryo. I wonder if we can get scrap if we do it really well. We scrap and energy, that's great. Let's see. We'll lose our energy. Let's head up. Line some arrays, let's mix it up. Signal station. Interface. We made a good bit of money from this one actually. It's been a fairly good day for us. Over 100 cryo. This way we can buy our fuel and be off. I'll grab some kelp cakes. A good munch, if you will. Let's head back to the rig and rest up. Recycle. Alright, we've got another fairly good set of rolls actually. At least 3s here we can upgrade to 4s, which isn't too bad. And then the rest are 5s and 6s. Let us signal station, let's earn more money. Oh, not untouched signals. Sorry, line arrays. These are the ones first. Why that this one's cracked? I don't know why that one's cracked. That's just a symbol for the middle one, I guess. Who knows? Oh, that's the energy, it didn't go well. Okay. So we'll make some moolah while we're here. And we'll buy all of the fuel and resources we need and head on the way, I think. Our welcome is finally over. Fill the fuel, 35. Fill the supplies, 15. Leaves us with 94 scrap. We're good with that. Diagnose your phone, find stowaway, help member, investigate the export, recon dark side. Rig, I think we're happy with at the moment. Obviously, we need 4 more components. Where to next? Oh, let's head to Helium Gate. I think Helium Gate, then down to Greenbelt, Holloway, and then Scatter Yards or Scatterway. Obviously, Wellspring is now very much off the table. We'll head back to Flotsam once we have all the resources we need. We need a drive core before we reach back there. I am just quickly going to go to the toilet and run an ad. I will be back in just a moment, okay? Let me just run that ad. Back in a minute. I'm getting old. I feel it. I have a cute cat. I have a very cute cat. She is asleep on the bed where I, kind of were earlier. I made up my bed earlier, so it's a little bit more cozy for her. She's clearly appreciating it. Hillian Gate hangs over the rig. Its corroded arches resemble the dislocated vertebrae of some vast long-dead serpent. This one's big. That's one big ugly scrap pile. Seraphim whistles to the pilot seat. So I didn't build them well, build them small. I mean, I'm gonna have to grab some water. Sorry, guys. That's one big ugly scrap pile. What was it for? A monument to hubris. Kind of beautiful. What was it for? Seraphim shakes his head. System's biggest door. Only opened if you ask nicely. Got to be big if you want to fit every ship that visits the system through it. Bliss cuts in from the back of the cockpit. Impressive, really. Building so massive out there. So I'd like to impress visitors, sure. Seraphim leans forward, looking for the best place to enter the structure, but they also like to scan entire ships and impound those that didn't enter through the gate. Seraphim catches your eye, looking for some agreement. The most admirable qualities. Slime was a curse to the system. Better off without them, that's for sure. I agree, but without them, the system would just be two gas giants and a load of rock. No harm in recognising it. You look out the cockpit toward the gate. Its layers of systems and roofs slowly opening to the void, peeling away cycle after cycle to reveal the bones beneath. This is where John B mentioned you might be able to find the location of a ship with a prime ship mind, among the old shipping manifests and Solheim records. You look over the towering structure of the gate. This is going to take some work. Suddenly a flash high up in the gate catches your eye. The light turning on and off again. For a moment, you lose track of it. Is this place inhabited? Seraphim raises an eyebrow. I doubt it, he winks and smiles. You open for a station-side bar. I have a feeling you'll be disappointed. Unless we find an executive old liquor cabinet. This pats you on the shoulder and drifts out of the cockpit. Time to see what secret the gate has left. Ooh, fun. Feed the cat. I'm not afraid to. I'll feed the little key. But this isn't being treated like bad thing, but we might have to eat the food here. Customs hall, Solheim records. Customs hall, scan the hall, explore the corridor, and Solheim records. Strap the records, power up the archive. Ooh, this could be cool. One way to get the data you need the archives to power up the whole machinery of engineering, a dauntless engineering task. Slower than turning on these archives. Selecting extract records safer and some method that we need. Well, we ain't one to be afraid of danger. Nice seeing 2 bonuses as well. Especially when we can 100% some of these decisions. Nice, we get halfway through it in one turn. I mean, come on. What's not to love? Scan the hall, explore the corridors. This is much more than we should have really done this. Oops. Let's have a little snooze. Should have come out with full food as well. That's a bigger mistake. Hopefully we can find enough to how do I put it? Make some upgrades or upgrade the ship. That would be quite cool. Sleeper! You hear Bliss's voice hiss as you pass through the roost corridor. You have to come see this. You follow their voice and find them floating outside the supply store, looking in. Bliss holds a finger to her lips and nods inside. Quietly, she's eating. Hey! Think about the cat in space! Space bat! Oh my god! Space bat! You look inside and see a cat floating just inside, batting at a food pouch. Its very belly acknowledges your and Bliss's presence. Instead of angling its body to catch the droplets of liquid that are released from the transparent packet. Looks like we found our stowaway, Bliss smiles at you. Here they go, Bliss whispers at the stray, beckoning. They hold up their hands so the cat can see them. We know how to take those rations away, alright? You both watch as the stray suddenly kicks away, twisting ballotically through the air and gliding past you both out of the supply store. It catches one of the corridor ribs, winging itself onto the wall where it perches and watches Bliss with big eyes. The comfort of its movements in 0G is striking. You realise you've never seen an animal navigate in microgravity before. It's a little cat! Woohoo! You hear a sound and turn to find Seraphim arriving from the direction of the engine room. He stops dead in his tracks against the wall, staring at the stray. What the hell is that? It's a cat! What's a cat? Seraphim says the word strangely. Careful there. Bliss holds up a hand to Seraphim. Don't scare her. So that's a cat? Seraphim is watching the stray carefully, either fascinated or scared. It's hard to tell. I thought it'd be bigger. You've never seen a cat before? Where would I have seen a cat? Seraphim looks at you. Come to think of it, where have you seen a cat? The question makes you pause. Where have you seen a cat? Not in the belt, not in 0G. You close your eyes and bring the mind to a faint image of a cat stretching in the sun, somewhere warm, somewhere with weight, with gravity. Search to throw the back on its back and it reacts, sliding against your hand. Careful, Seraphim hisses. Warning brings you back. Bliss is reaching out to the stray. Shh, you scare her. This makes a tutting sound. We had cat's back on the eye. They're in spin gravity there. The stray's big eyes watch Bliss's hand as it approaches, where they touch the top of her head. The stray does not move, does not react. It's a little kitty, it's a space kitty. Look at her leg, Bliss nods to the sleeve on the cat. She's been hurt before and taken care of. She's really scared. The other cat is gently trembling with Bliss's touch, but slowly she settles and angles her head for Bliss to scratch her ear. The movement brings back some mysterious memory. What is its origin? Focusing on it makes your skin tremble, a shiver running up your arm. Been breaking into our supplies, Seraphim has his arms folded and is looking at Bliss. Now we've caught it, we should let it out. Look at her, she's not going to do that again. Bliss's eyes meet Stray's. You aren't going to do that as long as we feed you, right? We are keeping the cat. I will punch Seraphim up. That may be true, but we can't risk it happening again. What if we've been on contract? Seraphim gives Bliss a reproachful look. We can't keep it. Bliss shakes her head. She's a stray. She needs a home, right, Sleeper? Bliss looks at you. We're keeping her. Bliss smiles widely, unable to contain their excitement. You won't regret it. They look at Seraphim. Plus, the rig is already full of strays as it is. Yes, it is. Seraphim concedes. You have to feed her though, Sleeper. It's your responsibility. He eyes the stray. I never thought a cat could eat so much. Seraphim's right. Looks like you would need to keep feeding the stray every few cycles if you wanted to stick around. It's going to be expensive. Trust me, cats are worth it. Seraphim reaches out sheepishly towards the stray. As he does, the cat bats playfully at his hand, and he pulls it away. If you say so, he sighs. I'm not really used to animals. He watches Bliss tries to get Seraphim to pet the stray properly, guiding his hand to its ear for a scratch to explain how to approach her. As you do, the memory of other cats runs through your mind. It feels like a raw wound, one that, if you touch it, will only bring pain. But you can't help but pick at it, knowing that it might contain some distant part of you. Make a home for a stowaway! Yeah! Woo! Briggs supply room. Now that you're familiar with the stray cat directly, but she's still a little nervous around you and the crew. Okay. I'll wait to feed it now because we just fed it. Let's go back to go explore. Let us go back to the Solheim Records room. And let's crack it because we've got this. No, we'll do the dangerous one since we have 100%. We'll get cracked in, hopefully get some loads of data that we can use on the other place on the way back with a ship line, ideally. In the dark and endless void of the archives, something flickers. We've been working in the dark, looking through the guts and corroded machines, skimming the data in their corrupt memories, digging through a graveyard in search of ghosts. But now with another flicker, the place begins to come back to life. All along the rows of benches, some of them crushed by fallen ceiling panels, terminals begin to flicker into uneasy life. Cacophony of distorted sounds accompanying the machines, and some of them immediately glitch and spark. Did you do this? The sun frozen as the archive glitters around you with a million shipping entries. The stream of information is overwhelming. Node graphs drawing out routes and inventories, tracing the web around you in pale sight. Suddenly, they all shut off, the terminals blinking out together, leaving a single translucent screen glowing softly in the dim room. And in that dim room, drifting towards you out of the dark, you see a figure. Is this what you're looking for? The voice crackles aggressively through the suit's local comms. Who are you? Junie! Hey! Sleeper, is that you? You hear Junie's voice now, tense and unsure. Stops beside the single online terminal. Her suit's form lit in pale Sunni. Junie! You hear the smile in her voice. Good to see you again. She pauses and glances around. Though the venue is a little unexpected. What are you doing here? I'm searching these archives too, although slightly less forcefully than you. I did have this whole speech prepared for whatever salvage that was ripping through these archives so messily, not to mention aggressively. And I don't know if it was you, well, I'm just glad to see you. Although you really need to be more careful. You could have taken the entire archive down the way you were working with it. These machines are decades old. You can't just rifle through them like they were a scrap pile. I saw the pattern of your queries. A prime ship mine equipped ship. Still operational at the collapse. That's located in a region around Helium Gate. You can feel how pleased she is with herself from here. Is that about right? Nicely done. She nods. Do you expect anything else? That's why I did the hard work for you. Junie beckons over to a lone lit up terminal. You drift over and see a single point, a faded transit trail beside it, sunward from the Helium Gate. Something like this, maybe? She smiles and steps aside so you can see the screen. You check the info pane beside the map. Ship mine in use, abandoned by all hands after collapse, tantalizingly in reach. What can I say? Try thank you, Junie. But Junie turns and in the glow of the terminal meets your eyes with complete seriousness. The question is, what do you want it for? Explain about your body. You tell her what Jean-Mi told you, about your shifting body, transformed by some unknown influence, about the need for a prime ship mind to house your emulated mind while he runs diagnostic process. She's silent for a moment, unsure how to respond. I'm sorry, Sleeper. I think I can help you. I want to come with you. Junie gives you a strong look. Do you know how often someone gets out of one of those old Solheim wrecks? They're more trouble than they are worth, but contained inside, there's an entire history to uncover. Uncover and take, you mean? This isn't like last time, I promise. I have no interest in the ship mine, but everything else is too big a chance to pass up. I know I can't force you or trick you into taking me. That's why I wanted to offer you this instead. She indicates the terminal, still showing the ship's final resting place. I hope that maybe if I helped you, you could find what you needed. I can show you I can be trusted. I trust you. She smiles. Thank you for saying so. I'll send the coordinates to your ship, and I'll be hanging around the gate until you are ready to leave. She shifts in front of the terminal and plugs in her deck, tapping away at rapid speed. If you need to go get supplies from the spindle or anything else, fine. Buzz her on. I'll wait, but if you need to go the job without me, I'll get the message. Shrugs. You won't see me again. With that, you leave her in the archive, extracting data as you send back to Helium's Gate's upper level. Okay. So it's a mini-map thing now. Yep, there it is. So we'll take her with us and go from there. Now, while we're still here, let's try and extract this. Explore the corridors, scan the walls. Well, we've got good percentages to scan, so we might as well scan the walls. May potentially get some stress from doing it if we do it badly, though. So let's not do it badly and go to sleep on the rig. And the cycle. Oh, we're back. Wow, I'm getting old. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to get some supplies before we do that. Not the best rolls, admittedly, but it could be worse. Down the entry hall, at least it's a 4. That's not good. That's not good at all. We discovered a new location though, that's something. Come on, 100%, 100%, 100%. Ah, so close. Boom! Yes! Within the gate. We're starving, but we can live that. So we got derelict fuel barge, gate structure, and seized cargo. Seized cargo, search for supplies. Derelict fuel barge, scavenge fuel, nice, and gate structure. Data scraping, cutaway scrap. Oh, interesting. Okay, let's head for a rest. This will be our final day here, by the way, because we're starting to pick up hunt. But let me eat, actually. Let me eat. So I hate doing this because it costs so much, but let's make one meal and munch it. I can live with that. Let's have a search for supplies. Let's end the cycle and then continue. I think it's going quite well though. Won't be streaming for much longer now though, as my sister's coming around in a little bit. But enjoying it while we do it. Wow, that's a terrible roll. Let's scavenge some fuel then. Oh, we can't scavenge fuel. We're terrible at it. Oh no. Oh well. Here's cargo. I bet we'll. No, we're terrible at that too. Okay. What about gate structure? How are we doing with that? We can data scrape. There's about the best we can do here. One Solheim data, yes. We're after Solheim data. Let's get a second bees. Even better. Right, looks like we're leaving. Since we can't really do much here, sadly. Belt. We can head to Flot. No, we can't head to Flotsam. We can head to there. We can head to Holmes Rock. The Holmes Rock, though it's more remote, it did have thing on with the Solheim data. Let's do it. Let's go Holmes Rock. We need to, obviously, we're going back on ourselves, so we need to get more fuel there, but I think we'll be fine. I also want to see how much the cat has eaten in this time. Let's have a peek. Special feed Melissa said, stray waits until you're outside the room to eat. Fair enough. Or I wonder if it'll tell us every cat needs food, or we have to figure it out every time. What do we get from this? One rare component. Okay, so this is a way for us to repair ourselves. I wonder if we'll get anything else potentially, but it's interesting to know about. Sun catchers. We can align these right onto the moolah. Yep. Let's do that. Obviously, we're not going to sell any more raw scrap. We can turn them into things nowadays. We've evolved from where we once were, but we're going to need a load of resources before we leave this place. Wow, we're really in a rough spot. Hey, that's part of it. We've got 3 cycles here to earn up that scrap. I wonder if it's better for us to gather fuel than it is supplies. I've never seen us actually gather supplies. Scavenge fuel. See what we can get. Fuel for supplies. Engine component. Well, I can't imagine selling an engine component now. I can't. Buy this. 6 cryo, not as much, but it'll work. We don't have much money here, but hey, good to see what the Solheim data we can use this fabricator is. Oh my god. My cough wants to come back with a vengeance, that's for sure. Let's have a little snooze on here. So 0 and 2. Let's see, do we get any? Do we find any? We found one. That's better than none. Saves us money on refueling, I guess. It's just, I noticed we never actually find supplies. Like, I've never seen us actually gather any. That's why I was a bit hesitant on that front. I mean, head to the sandwich rest. Buy a meal. That's full. Let me fill up our supplies. Which would be to refuel ourselves? 54, we might as well, and then head off to get this ship mined. So we haven't got a lot of money, but we're good with that. Let's head back to Helium Gate. Confirm. Vroom. And then we'll go off on this adventure. Oh, we lost a lot of fuel though. Wow, I just thought about that. We're using up a lot of fuel on this. We use up every single bit of our fuel. How much does it cost for us to get out of here? Say to fast spindle, it takes 4. Ooh, we might need to head to fast spindle anyway. You know what, we will. Just because that's quite a long distance. I want to get as much fuel as we can. I just don't want to risk anything. Could I have stayed there and gathered a little bit? Yes, but at least on the fast spindle I could do a better paying job. Scrap a ship. Let me do scrap shift. 500. Cryo, nice. I'm just interested in how much it would take to refuel ourselves fully, but I can set ourselves to gather fuel. Yep. And then bring supply store. I don't know how often we have to feed the cat. We'll find out. But I wonder if I just leave it and then it will tell me, or if I need to actively go and feed the cat. That I'm not too sure on. Bundle trade will buy fuel. Fill fuel. So it's 50 to fill the fuel at the moment. Obviously we don't have enough money for that, and 15 for the supplies. Might as well cover supply now. Purchase that. I wonder if we can up our supply limit as well. I know obviously supplies play a big part in different rungs on this game, but it would be nice to be able to up that a little bit, in my opinion anyway. Now let's do some work. Dangerous work, but work nonetheless. And for the next part, because that's dangerous, it classes it, we'll head up the array signal station and we'll do some aligning of the arrays. Obviously it might lose us something, but save turn in theory. At least when I was do anything crazy. And I will never use a 1. I would like it if there was a way to re-roll outside of a push. I would appreciate that, but obviously it's not a feature in this one, which is a shame. But what can you do? What can you do? Live with it. Not a bad roll set here. At least 3 and above we can work with as long as we can get the bonuses. The rest, not so much. I'll wait until we get 2 as well. Turn a 3 into a 5. Obviously, turning it into a 4 is good, but it's not quite as if it was a 5. That 5 just changes everything. Even 1 to a 3 is a big difference, like a huge difference. Again, risky but not dangerous. Big deciding factor to do this rather than the other way, even though it pays less. There's the energy loss from a fail, but at least it's a bit of energy loss, nothing too crazy. Buy ourselves some cupcakes while we're here. Done next turn, oh well. Let's end that cycle. Hopefully we'll gather up a little bit of fuel, then we'll head back and go from there. Oh, we are gathered free fuel, that's actually really good. A really good one, actually. Again, back to the scrap ship and do what we've been doing the entire time. Lost a bit of energy, but we're fine with that. Ooh. I say, we'll wait another turn. I think that's pretty much all we can do here for now. End this cycle, and then obviously it'll be free, so we want to leave so we can reduce it all. We don't want to be followed by Lane. I just feel like he's going to cause some trouble. Just use the 5 this time, since we haven't got any other crazy spins. Or rolls, should I say. Let's head up, let's get some cupcakes for the road. Yum, yum, yum. Signal station align raise. Use our 4 on these. Should have done that before I ate, actually, now I think about it. That's exactly why I should have done it before we left. Oh well. We want some extra money. Let's buy our cargo. Let's fill it up. Fill up fuel with full-on supplies. What I'll do before we go, because we've got a bit of an excess, let's fill the cap before we go, because we don't know how long we're going to be out there, what condition we'll be under. We have fed the little kitty cat. Let's head back far. We don't need those. Drop 1, I think it does give us like 1 energy back. Trade hall. Buy that food and let us go. We're going to find more engine components though, I feel it. It's coming soon. Let us now head back to Helium Gate. And then this way we only need to risk getting 2 fuel before we can go back, which I find is much more reasonable than the other. You ate to something soft and furry rubbing against your nose. Oh! You sit bolt upright. The stray kicks off from your bunk and settles on the ceiling. Back cold up, looking down at you accusingly with those big eyes. Sorry. The stray gently pushes off the ceiling with a soft ball and descends on the edge of your bunk, where it hooks its front claws into the mattress pad. Seeing the cat move in 0G is still odd. It seems to come naturally to it, and yet its shape is so connected to gravity and weight in your mind. The cat should have the heavy, soft form of a mammal, or the languid liquidity presence of a floating thing in front of you. Oh, look at it! Playing with what looks like a data chip? The stray uses its hook claws to twist and spin itself, so it softly slides against you with its back, rubbing against your arm and purring. You know what it wants. Pet the stray. Scratch it behind its ears. You scratch behind the stray's ears, and the cat pushes its head against your hand. The stray closes its eyes and purrs. It's funny to think how the stray got out here. Perhaps on a ship from the inner system, slipping at the Eye or the Sintra. And before that, its ancestors were perhaps carried out to Helium by Solheim executives who had the power and arrogance to bring a cat into space. But this cat, the one on the ship, was born here. That much is obvious. It is a creature of zero gravity, being that orbits and glides, not one that leaps and stalks. It pats in your hand, encouraging you to continue petting. It is an animal that is part of the crew now. You can't imagine the rig without her. As you look down at the stray, as nameless and inhuman as you are, the memory returns. The warmth of atmosphere-filled sun, the weight of flesh and fur, the smell of growing things. You know now what this memory is. It couldn't be more obvious. It is a memory that crossed the gap of your creation, a memory from your mind that was copied, emulated to make your own. It is a part of you. This memory, in the end, a mistake. Those who designed the sleepers never intended you to carry the memories of the mind you were copied for your creation. They wanted you to emerge as new beings, offshoots from a branch of a human's life, to be cut short when needed. But mistakes can so often become the most powerful and meaningful of emblems. They can guide a being more strongly than any success ever could. That's because the heart of every mistake is a possibility of change, of a shift in the status quo. You've lived the life of mistakes as much as you've lived the life of successes. Look where it has brought you. So you accept the memory, let it wash over you like the sun. You focus on the stray, and as you do, both memories combine. You stroke in both cats, separated by time and space, feeling both sets of sensations in double exposure. This doubling is what defines you. You are multiple, branched, diverse. You make no apologies for this, and you know that you will only accumulate more selves, more variations as you persist. You claim the mistake and the possibility it offers you. You settle in your birth, delaying the moment of waking, of greeting the cycle a little longer. You're an unspoken solidarity with the stray that is more expansive than any words can capture. We pet the kitty cat. Do we still have to feed the cat though? Is that it just figures it out on its own now? We do still need to feed the stray. Okay, I'm just not sure how often. Might look that up. If anything, that's the only thing I'll look at. Right, derelict fuel barge. I've got a 6. I wanted to see if we can get anything from it. Perfect. That's exactly what I needed. Let's head out on this mission. Then we'll do this, and then I think I will call it there, okay? And you come in with us, Junie, and Bliss, we want you on the crew. I'd like to get Junie on the crew. So Junie, what does she feel like? I think she does the same stuff as us. We don't really have anyone who's very good at the heavy lifting side of things. Cover the contract. Let's go. I didn't mind Junie. The other guy earlier on, I wasn't a big fan of because he had lied to his original group. That was what made me go a bit eerie on him. We're too far sunward, sleeper. Different times back in his chair. I don't like it. So I'd not to agree. Coordinates Junie found have you drawn out of Helium Gate, and almost out of the belt completely, into a soft, rubble-strewn transition with the Helium system, the edge of Conway-controlled space. That's why the ship is likely to be untouched, Junie surveys the wreck coldly. It's far too sunward for belt traffic to run into, and now with Conway drones patrolling the edge of the belt, it's even less attractive as a salvage site. Lucky us. Junie eyes you, trying to detect if you're being sarcastic or not. I doubt anyone has been here in decades, so actually I would say we are lucky. Any drone signals? Nothing I can see. I don't dare reach out too far. Seraphim flicks a few switches. You should assume they're out of there. As you look out at the twisted wreck, you swear you see a red light blinking between the stars. You exchange a look with Seraphim. You've seen it too. You better get to it, sleeper. Seraphim quickly unclips from his seat, quickly and quietly. From what I understand, Conway drones run on automatic until they detect something of interest. Junie unclips too. So as long as we are quiet, we don't have to contend with an operator just to automate the search sweeps. So, if we are detected, we will be killed by a machine, not a person. Bliss shakes their head. I don't find that very reassuring. They get up out of the corner seat and glide towards the back of the ship to get suited up. You drift out of your chair and head towards the airlock, unable to shake the feeling of being watched. Being here is a risk, you know that, but you need that ship mind. So, no matter what happens, you won't be leaving here empty-handed. Right. Isolated rep. Extract map data, explore ship. Sign up a network card showing log unwanted attention. While exploring it in person, want to keep your crew undetected. Some ships network large ships, so function access explore the wreck. I don't know which is best for us, but this one obviously is quite good because we can get 6, so we'll do that. Junior can't. Oh no, Junior's quite good at this one. So long as it's positive and minimum positive, I'm very happy with that because we don't want to activate this. And obviously, we're only limited by the supplies we have on this run, thankfully. A 5 again, that's good enough in my opinion. Brilliant. Stress, we gain some stress, but we can live with that. Let's have a little push. We'll do it. Ah, beautiful push actually. 100% is 100% as I can live with that. I know there's a perk that I can do it where I either roll more dice or I gain I lose stress if I gain a positive, which is quite an interesting little feat. I think we can call that one there. I'm happy with because I think a 4 is just that little bit too risky for this right now until we know for positive what's happening. So let us end the cycle. We're not hunted, I can live with that. Unless that just goes up every turn anyway. I doubt it. There we go. Right, let's head back here. We've got a 6, 4, let's head for 5. Perfect. Could have been better. Could have been better. We'll use the 6 then. Oh well, maybe one of these guys will be able to crack us into the next phase. Shame I should use the 6 at the beginning. Junie leads you deep into the wreck, through crushed and twisted corridors. Floating panels and wires appear suddenly in your headlamps like strange sculptures. Just as you begin to tire of the endless dark and haze particles washing over your suit, Junie leads you into a chamber where the ceiling is torn apart to reveal the stars. At its center lies a cylindrical object, half your height, raised on a complex pedestal, from which countless thick cables snake off into the dark like braided hair. One or two of them float freely, waving back and forth with glint and severed ends, but most of them disappear into the floor and walls, twist and curve out of sight. Beautiful, isn't it? Junie stares at the prime ship mind. The stars reflect in the faceplate. Not bad. Junie glides over to the pedestal, pushing her way delicately through the wires as she takes out her terminal and looks at an access port. She talks softly, a voice carried through the suit comms. These cables lead off every one of the ship's systems: engines, life support, navigation, lighting, networking, you name it. Shipmind has hardwired access to all of them. When an old ship like this was running well, the shipmind would distribute itself, some of its protocols running freely in different sections. It would be less like a single governing mind, and more like a load of systems clumping together to form a complex living machine. Think of a plant rather than a being. A plant with incredibly rapid processing power and a much more accelerated response time than your average tree. You watch as she finds an access port and slips a cable inside, slung a translucent screen into the top edge of her deck. Let's see it. Junie's screen fills with bright scrolling data. Incredible. There's so much here. She hits a few keys. I'll start copying this over. This is everything I need. You watch as Junie starts rapidly tapping at a keyboard. Her attention sucked into data she is extracting. Junie, the ship mind? She snaps out of a trance. Sorry, yes, let me check. As I thought, she sighs. So, like I was saying, the protocol inside the ship mind are distributed. So when the ship mind is shut down unexpectedly, the protocols are rarely all contained in this unit. She places her hand gently on the cylinder. As is the case here, parts of it are trapped elsewhere in the ship. Systems node, she taps, which is a problem. Why does it matter? If we rip this thing apart now, with parts of its protocol everywhere, it's probably going to destroy itself the moment we turn it on. It doesn't matter what we're going to wipe the whole thing anyway. It'll be too late. Mine inside the ship mind will be broken. But if we find the nodes housing the distributed parts, power them up, and then disconnect them, the protocols we've sent right back into the ship mind here, and we can take it out clean. How do we find the nodes? We either ask the cradle very nicely, or we spend the next few cycles following these cables to see where they lead. I've got an incoming signal! Seraphine's voice suddenly cuts through on comms. Urgent and nervous. If you're lighting up the systems and network down there, time to stop. You hear a click as Junie disconnects from the cradle, and the two of you exchange nervous looks, instinctively backing off in the ship mind. Suddenly, a faint red light glitters in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. You hold still. The moment stretches out, and you hear Junie's breathing through the comms. The light flashes, pauses, and then fades. You take a breath. Too close. Conway drone, Junie whispers, sniffling the network. We're clear, Seraphine chimes in again. I've turned off almost all of the rig systems, but we need to be careful. Keep network activity to a minimum. Understood, Junie cuts in, but we need to access the networks to get out of the ship mine quickly. Then I hope you're all feeling lucky. There is a click as Seraphine closes the line. You and Junie look at each other again, and then at the ship mine, encased in its cradle, wrapped in cables. This isn't going to be easy. Ooh! That could have gone better, but oh well. Pack the cradle, track cables. I think the cradle will reveal data on the shipmine system, but any network activity is linked for attention. Okay. So no one can do track cables. but we can all do this pretty much. I'm gonna have that sleep in the rig. Well, let's get to it. Okay, some good rolls. I'll take that. Bliss not so good, but I don't think Bliss can do either of these, so that's fine. See, that's where we need. We need someone who's able to do these. I think we can only take 2 crew, which is annoying, but it's what it is. Back cradle. Obviously, with it being a 6, we'll do it. If it wasn't a 6, we wouldn't. We'd go for the more safer option, but I mean, both are danger. Equated with them, really, isn't it? Maybe we'll get it all ourselves if this goes well. Good roll. Yeah, come on. Right, we've got 2 spots. We've got starboard node and port. Starport or port? Starport! Disable node, cut node. Mess up and there'll be trouble. GT5. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's not good. What about this one? Can Junie do anything? No? This. Let's have a little snooze on this one. And sight on this one. On the rig. Give the rig the respect it deserves. Good rolls, good rolls, good roll. Oh my god, that's heinous. That is heinous. That's really bad. That was bad. That's really bad. Oh my god. That's terrible. That is a terrible roll. Wow. Junie did a little bit better than us. Bliss, not great, I'll admit. But we'll survive. I hope. We'll do cut node. Come on, this is 6. We'll be fine. I mean, that did it, didn't it? Let's do this. Disable node. You've got it. You've got it. You've got it. Okay, that's 1. That's 1. Now we need to get the second. So we need to be very, very careful. I'm not going to risk it with these bad rolls. I mean, to be fair, 3 isn't terrible. That's like a worst case. We'll do that the next turn, but not if I don't have to. We're not in a rush. It's not rushing us in any way, which is nice. We've got time. We've got time. So, I mean, I've got 2 5s and 2 6s here, so we'll be okay. Okay, not okay. 6, please. Let's do it all. Not so perfect. Fine, we'll use her 6 because we can use ours more universally, it seems. See? Got it. Okay. It's ready, sleeper. Junie's voice comes quietly through your comms. You look over to her, flown beside the cradle, lit by the pale screen of her deck. She gives you a reassuring nod. You turn to the prime ship mine, now floating above its cradle. The final node is disconnected and the lock's released. Glide over and then gently grab them, the warm metal casing gleaming in the dim light. As you do, you feel a strange sensation of something moving around inside, like a creature in a box, the weight shifting this way and that under the pressure of your grip. Suddenly dawns on you that John Mee's plan to put you inside this strange device, to hold your mind there, while he investigates your body. The thought prompts a shiver. That drone's still sniffing around, sleeper. Dorfin's voice crackles on the comms, so if you have what you need, let's go. Feel Junior's hands fall on your shoulder. Come on, sleeper. Don't overthink it. She pats you gently. There'll be plenty of time for that later. You look up and see a faint red light glittering in the dark beyond the broken ceiling. Time to leave. Nothing else here for us to yoink? Without alerting Conway. Okay, cool. Guess it's time for us to leave. Leave and all the stress fades away. Arriving back at Helion Gate, as lonely as it is cold, and cold as it is, it feels like a relief. There's a tension in the rig as you came back out the inner system, a watchfulness for errant signals and glinting red beacons that choke the conversation. But now, floating in the confident shadow of this vast ruin, a sense of release is palpable. That's one prime ship mind, condition unknown, retrieved. Seraphim runs the engine shutdown protocols as he speaks. I'd mark that as a success. Agreed. I said for Slotson. Give me a minute. Seraphim reaches up and switches above him. We haven't even stopped yet. Sleeper, can I speak with you? Junie asks from the back of the cockpit. Of course. Leads you out of into the passage, tucking herself against the wall. She looks small, even in this compact space. Thank you for taking me with you. I hope I proved I'm trustworthy. I never doubted you. It's nice to hear. She smiles at the floor. Thank you. In my time here in the Belt, I haven't found it easy to make friends. We followers, tripping over her words like, but you, Sleeper, well, I hope you'd consider me as a friend at least. I would. She can't help but smile. I'm glad. Then I'd like to ask you something, she pauses. Would you consider taking me with you on the rig, she blurts out. And then before you can answer, I think I would be of help with your diagnostic, and in the meantime, I can take a look at that ship mine, make sure it's ready, and... Yes, Junie, you can. She stops, speechless. She looks down at her hands and then back up at you. Okay, she smiles. Thank you, I... Looks down again. I find a bunk. And she quickly glides off down the corridor before you can say anything further. Another stray collected, Seraphim puts a hand on your shoulder. Quite the refuge we're building here. He gives you a sly smile. You don't approve? Seraphim shrugs, you know, I've actually started to warm to this one. He's alright by me. He smiles and pushes off from your shoulder, gliding towards the engine room. You look towards the bunks. The Junie is already out of sight, likely unpacking already. The ship is getting a little crowded, but you're starting to realise you like it like that. At the very least, she'll prove invaluable when you go to Flotsam and have to deal with Jean-Mi. Perhaps you'll even have a read at the old man. You pause for a second, appreciating the warmth, the hum of the rig and its inhabitants. The ship you think is starting to feel like home. Recruit Junie to recruit data archaeologist. Right, and with that, we're going to bring this session to an end. Thank you so much for being here. In the next part, we're going to head off to Jean-Mi and do our diagnostic run. We're going to see how that goes, but thank you so much for being here, and I will catch you later. You have a good one. Bye for now.